Welcome to the green room, people. Don't drink the girls. Don't drink the girls. Listen to Vardnik. Death. That's all I want. That's all I need. And see. Great stuff. Lively typing square tonight. Welcome to the green room. I almost rolled into my shtick, but it's not time yet, so please continue listening to the beautiful melodies of White Bat Audio. And again, Wipe That Audio is in the works, people. Don't you worry. Yeah, you're right, Ryan Maxwell. The green truck is all well and good, but yeah, who wouldn't want a white truck with gray on the bottom? Am I right, guys? Or, ripping off some old lady because you tell you're a contractor. That's a thing, too. Happy Lord. Is that still going on? What is up, Tony? Hello, everybody. In the typing square, Vardnik, Burn, I'm going to need to get a better handle on your name. If you're okay with me calling you Burn, say nothing. If you aren't okay with it, say something, but I may still continue. Yeah, it's a month-long celebration, so happy Lord to everybody. Allison, thank you for that. I need to put that on my calendar. Thank you, Rose. LOL. Or LOL, sorry. Yeah, I hope you got that note from your court appearance. Otherwise, you'd be walking the line of being fired. You know how many people watch that training video? I have a relatively huge pool of suckers to pull from. I mean, employees. If you did, as you say you did, Vardnik, show up for just something to eat, good news, we're going to the Bonefish Grill. I'll be good. Yeah, you better, Ryan. But guess what? It's the green room, but I've got a surprise for you. You specifically, Ryan. Okay, Burn, Lornt is a TCAP thing. Please catch up on TCAP. God damn it. It's been out for like 30 years. Check it out. Lornt, here's the thing. I'm not a huge Lorne fan or whatever. I'm not a member of the Church of COD, but when it comes to TCAP, Lorne is like the Babe Ruth of the genre, maybe the Lou Gehrig's, if you know what I mean. All right, boy, oh boy, it's always a tangle of cords and shit over here. Oh my God, Burn. Listen, look, listen. Anybody else know Wings of Redemption? Look, listen. Lol cows, not even started the show yet, people. It's Lornt Day. Lornt, see, Lent is 40 days, and I don't know. Here's the thing, I'm bad at religions, Western religions. I don't know if you're supposed to abstain from like fish or whatever on Lord. I don't know. Again, I'm not a member of the Church of COD, so no, he can't. Ryan, he can't be trusted. He eats too much of the Vapo Rub, and it's toxic. That's a petroleum product. I mean, whatever. Here's the thing. I'll agree that we should all have our right to medical choice, but like this isn't a medical decision. He's eating Vapo Rub. It's not a good idea. When you dress as Lorne for Halloween instead of JC Jones. Well, his name isn't Lorne. Lorne is the holiday. His name is Lorne. Lord Armstrong. And we celebrate Lorne, or not we, I'm not, again, not a member, have not taken communion, nor have I been baptized into the Church of Cod. Ah, delicious. Hope you guys are in the Discord. You'll know what I'm talking about. Thank you. Just check it out. Yeah, may the Lorne be with you. Fourth, the Lorne be Star Wars. There's so much lore. I don't know. Lore in the Loreography. Used to eat it on toast. Yeah, well, just like, hey, guess what? Simpsons did it because they must have known that reference because Milhouse used to eat it on toast. Am I right? It's a trap. It's a trap. You guys and your Star Wars references. That might not even have been one. I might have been projecting. I don't like Star Wars, you guys. This is the green room. I can talk about whatever I want. You gotta take it. Burn, learn about TCAP. Anyway, we've been in the green room officially for too long, so let's get this party started.
Dog. Cat. Mouse. Turtle.
I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life.
You're listening to FFOP Radio.
Reach the
Welcome to the show. My name is Dave, and this is FFOP Radio. It's Friday, Flamingo Friday, if you can't tell. We do a usual thing every Friday. And here it is again, right? This is what I am drinking tonight. It's the Atomic Cherry Bomb. For those of you who aren't in the Discord, I won't, knock your dick in the dirt as far as context. So here it is. This is a cherry mead. It's technically like a Malamel or something. I don't care. There's a bunch of different, like if you put shit in mead, it can be a bunch of different things. Technically, this might be a capsicum ale because I accidentally forgot 2 habanero peppers lying at the bottom of that carboy for like 3 months. Mm-hmm. So we pulled it out, clear as a bell and dark as pitch, as you can see. But boy, is it hot if you are a wuss. But it is delicious to yours truly. Ooh, the peppers are so yummy. I wish I'd have pasteurized this to get sort of a cooked thing. Oh, hey, yeah, so there you are. There you are, right. Well, hold on. Let me introduce Krista. There's Krista, my producer and co-host.
Here. Hello.
Yeah,
and I made the sign.
Yeah, so today, when I was getting out of work, I was having a pretty good day. Just stop by work. No rubber. But, anyway, on our YouTube channel, everybody likes to comment. So Ryan made mention of it, and his excuse that he was going to have to leave at least 15 minutes early for court made me laugh out loud IRL. So immediately I picked up my phone and I texted Krista. Did not send the text. Put that down. Anyway, it got done. And that sticker, you can't really see it, but it says "Oh whale" for Lornt.
And I tried to make the colors like Popeye colors, and the whale is eating spinach. You can't really tell, but there's some green stuff.
I'd pull it down, but it keeps falling apart every time I mess with it. So just trust me. He's eating spinach. That's a "oh whale."
Oh whale.
I only drink moonshine and sake. Okay.
We had moonshine for our wedding.
Yeah, we had apple
David
pie
got
moonshine.
shit-faced.
It's not. Here's the thing. I don't mind people who like to drink harder, whatever. The thing is, if I want to do it myself. And I am not going to distill anything myself. I will ferment, I will homebrew, I'll do all of that. But like distillation and distilling of spirits is a wildly dangerous thing if you don't know what you're doing. And I don't, so I'm not gonna.
Well,
Plus,
blow me down.
This just gets me.
I can't do Popeye, so that's what you're going to get from me.
Galiv. Raw. What's that? No rubber. All right, guys. So let me give you a little context to what is happening tonight. If you are unfamiliar, Lee Rodarte here. I forget where he's from. It really probably doesn't matter because, like, who cares? Let me pull a little TV in here. So Lee Rodarte was the manager and, like, head chef of the Bonefish Grill, which is like an Applebee's or whatever, one of those chain restaurants or what have you. Jacksonville, Florida. I knew it was probably Florida. But yeah, so he Lee was dating or like whatever, banging or whatever, Savannah Gold, who was a server, and it's against the rules for superiors and minors or underlings to interact. And like they were both on heroin, alleged. I don't know what she was or
Allegedly.
not. She's dead and can't defend herself, but who knows? So they may have both been on heavy drugs and all other shit. And she was talking about turning him in for like they're screwing around, and he like loved his job. So long story short, guess what? He killed her. And what we're about to go through is a very bizarre interaction between him and two youngish looking detectives who both claim to have like decades of experience on the force, which they always do. And they, I mean, we'll get through it, obviously, but it just, to me, feels like if they didn't have Lee, none of this would have worked.
Ryan, I would have to hear her voice before I try to do an olive oil voice.
Not that much. How could they do this? So here we are, people. Let me get everything. Here we go. So yeah, Lee Rodarte. Also, he's going to he's going to talk about a bunch of gross stuff too.
Cool.
Like
Cool.
like not gross in that like it's disgusting literally, but like if he's going to tell me these detectives things that like you wouldn't want to know a food service person was doing necessarily.
Hello, Maxwell English.
It's happening. Maxwell English. Everybody is here. I am so glad to have you. It's called being horny.
Bard. How could they do this?
All right, here we go, guys. Jacksonville, Florida. She's going to put on, and like this lady right here, obviously. We're waiting for Lee because I think he's taking a whiz. But she's going to put on a performance that is like next level crazy.
Of a lifetime.
It's so whatever. We'll get. I obviously we'll get to it. Hopefully, eventually. But like, you don't see very many emotional pleas to, like, I mean, especially because most of the detectives are dudes, and it's usually like an emotional plea comes from a lady, and she's gonna swing for the fences.
Oh man, the video on the top left corner is
Please.
It's
faster than the other one.
yeah. It's
Woof.
every time they have two cameras, there's always that.
Dude, I was just going to say that she was playing Candy Crush, but then I noticed that she was texting, and I was like, oh, I don't want to say that because someone's going to be like, actually, she's texting.
Actually, she was playing Royal Match years before that happened.
Water.
Water. Lee, he's wearing his bonefish cook outfit and everything.
Oof. No doorstop.
Yeah, look at it's a handcuff as their keychain.
Nice.
There's a key up here too. What's going on?
Like I said, I want to kind of go over some stuff. I know we talked the other day. Just for a few minutes.
Kind of.
I had some concerns about a couple things, and okay. There we
Did
go.
you guys order a pizza?
There we go. I wanted to talk to you about Savannah. So I just had a couple of things that came up that I wanted to ask you about specifically that didn't seem to line up. So I wanted to
Yes, sir.
come down and talk to you. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
That's what you want to hear out of a detective. Like within the first 3 minutes of being in the interrogation room is like some things didn't line up.
Here's the thing. Some things didn't line up. Oh, yeah. Yep. He's my husband.
So let's get just a couple. Just make sure I've got your
To pop
basic
and sound like a
information.
champagne
Lee,
bottle.
and tell me
Well, that's what they were popping outside. He's like, we'll give the water to Lee, but they're popping bottles of Dome out in
how
the
you pronounce your last name.
the bullpen.
Rodarte. Okay, and that's Rodarte. Yeah.
P.S. Like, I did not realize how common a name Rodarte was until I heard his name in one of these true crime videos, because now I see it literally everywhere. And that's part of it too, is like my job, I deal with a lot of people and people's names because I do insurance shit, and a lot of people have insurance. And so the number of like TCAP alum or true crime people or detectives and stuff that just like, and I can't like tell you about it because that'd be a HIPAA violation. But so those specifics, but all these names are literally everywhere. And every time I see one, I go, ha ha. And you'll never know when it specifically happens.
Right, and it's 1081 Halifax Road, Jacksonville. What's the zip there?
Retarded.
32216.
32216.
Insurance stuff.
Date of birth is 8/11
Stop.
of 88. 5'11".
Yeah.
Okay. And what's your approximate weight?
It's been a while since I weighed myself, but probably about 163, something like
I mean,
that.
look at these guns,
It's been a
detective.
while since I weighed myself, but like 163.
0.5.
Don't
Give
most
or
people
take.
like stick to the 0 and the 5? Like, I don't know how much I weigh, but I tell people $140, $145 if I'm feeling heavy. I don't actually know. I could be
Feeling heavy.
141. Might be
There's another-
138.
Okay.
There's another
Four
Dustin
guys here.
McFetrid's in Tennessee who plays college
There's-
football.
Right, isn't that terrible? There's some poor bastard out there named Jim Roush, too, who God knows what his life is like.
Imagine him running around with Fisher Price keys as a
What's your
toddler.
phone number?
904
Jeff Stacy.
100%.
452. Yes, sir.
6094.
6094. Okay.
Should we pull a baked salmon and call this dude's number? I'm just kidding.
And your social? Do you know
Lee?
your social? Sure.
Hello?
And white male. How old are you?
28.
28. And can you read?
That is a rough-looking 28, right? Like, even in this low res, look at those pitted cheeks and that mustache, like the sunken eyes. Like, guys, don't do drugs. Like, it'll blow you apart, and you'll look 50 when you're 28.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the last school you went to?
I look like shit, but I did it naturally.
Forest High School.
Oh yeah.
Before it was renamed.
Yeah. When did you graduate?
06.
Okay. 2006. All right. You can read and write. Have you had have you drank any alcohol today?
Drugs are
Any
bad.
Drugs
Drugs are bad.
I took an Adderall that my buddy gave me
Okay.
I was like, hey, can I have that Adderall? And he's like, sure, dude. I'm not using it.
because I was there till
No, we're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
the hard stuff, Maxwell English, not weed.
We did nothing. I'm a teetotaler except for my own brew. Except a little bit of acid, maybe some mushrooms. And if I go to like a Fish concert, you know I'm going to be dropping some MDMA. But other than that, clean as a whistle. You know, sure. Maybe you go to like a Motley Crue tribute show and someone passes you a clear pipe and you take a hit and the rest of the night's a blur. But I'm clean.
Here, take this.
Okay.
And he's...
Yeah.
And do you normally take that?
Nah, I was.
I take Vikes and
I took it
Addies.
one long time ago. Like,
Long time ago.
I wouldn't say high school, a little bit after high school, but it's been years.
Okay.
It's been
Yeah.
years.
But
6
nothing
years.
to drink alcohol wise? Okay. And about what time do you think you took Adderall?
It was probably 12-ish. Yeah.
Okay. And
Here's the thing. I've never, full disclosure, let's be real. I've not taken MDMA. However, I've been offered it, I think, twice. One
I know the one time.
Yeah, one time I was handed a mystery pill when I was working at Burger King because I was cool and gave these dudes who were tripping extra onion rings. And the other time was when I went to like a pool rave with my gay friend, and he's like, have some ecstasy, and I was like, I'm cool. This is a new place, and I'm not going to be tripping balls with a bunch of people I don't know. And since I was the only sober one, I saw a guy drop $5, and I picked it up. I took it. It's
I
all
still
mine.
couldn't believe you went to that.
It was experimenting with things. You live outside your comfort zone. Plus, I love gay people. Quick side story. One of the dudes at my new job, like, I just enjoy his company. He's a nice dude. And I couldn't tell why. Because there's just some people you mesh with. And I'm like, there's nothing really extraordinary about him. But today, he's like, we were talking about work and being in the medical industry and talking about, like, the jobs that you want because you love and you go after. You're talking about like butt doctors and vagina doctors and stuff. You're like, you got to not really be in love with the mechanics, but like the science of the butt possibly. Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, just keep that away from me. He's like, I'm gay. And I'm like, that's why I like you. I'm reverse racist to gay people. I love gay people. Thank you, Tony.
do you understand what I'm
The
saying?
feeling is
though? Getting
mutual.
able to communicate. Okay, enough. It didn't.
Molly feels badass
Okay.
when
Yeah.
you're in
You know
Iraq
about Molly. You
dancing
said you
while at
can't read and
120
write.
heat.
That's perfect.
Oh.
Awesome.
There's probably not a lot of times when Molly doesn't feel badass because that's what it does, right? I mean, I don't know. I've never had it. Maybe one day. I'm 40, so there's still time.
I want to ask you some questions, but I want to go over your rights. We are currently at 501 East Bay Street, which is the Police Memorial Building.
Get into the
Today is
science of
August the
butt.
5th, 2017, and it's approximately...
I think he says butt pretty funny.
7:15. Make sure I got that.
Check my phone here.
Yep.
King's Crush.
So it's 7:15 p.m. give or take. Will you read that, just that top line to me?
You have the following rights under the United States Constitution.
Perfect.
Don't get me wrong. Here's the thing. Now we're going down like a whole drug path. I wouldn't mind. I have not. So if anybody of authority is listening, I have not ever tried mushrooms. However, it's one of those things that is appealing to me for a couple of reasons. It's not like something chemically made by a human.
In a factory, yeah.
I'm one of those people that's like, if it grows, even if it's been like genetically selected and whatever, if it grows, I'll give it a pass. Because like when dudes and ladies make things, they don't do a good job because nature's already basically doing it. That's why people die from like meth and heroin and crocodile and like the trank and all the shit we make.
Yeah.
Be like that dinosaur from that Discovery Channel documentary. Eat some mushrooms, trip balls, and then like just chill for the rest of the day. You know what I mean?
I'll read these with you.
Ryan, we will
do
be
not have to
married
make
10
a
years,
statement or say
March 22nd, 2024.
Long time, guys.
anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice.
We just celebrated 61 years of that.
Of you, and to have the lawyer
I'm
with
old.
you during the question. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to you before any questioning, if you wish.
I mean, come on. We all know the Miranda rights.
To stop answering those questions at any time and consult with your attorney or with a lawyer. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. You just sign there that you understand them. That isn't admitting or not saying anything. It's just saying you understand.
Is she wearing leggings?
No, I think she's got like a
I appreciate
suit,
that.
pantsuit set
Oh,
up.
okay.
But P.S., it's not, the thing you're signing isn't just acknowledging it. Yes, it is acknowledging it. But what you're saying is like, yeah, I'll keep talking because I'm dumb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. The caveat with cocaine is, right, like you have to have a bunch of like impoverished third world plebs like crush it and lose their feet and hands because they get dissolved away into the mixture and they work on a steady diet of the product they produce. I think that's a little fucked. A mushroom just grows.
Right.
All right. So
She's wearing short
Savannah.
shorts, and that's her leg's natural color.
Oh, yeah.
Something's off there.
That's some hair.
She's just got Sasquatch
Yeah, it's
legs.
so low res. She's like the like those Mexican Wolfman kids, but only from the waist down. So her veg is constantly hidden behind a bush of terrible brambles.
Savannah, you said that you knew her and you guys had you knew her from work. I mean, just kind of fill me in with that. How long have you known her?
Like I said,
Damn
I've known her obviously since she worked.
I call every skeleton a skeleton, not because I like The Nightmare Before Christmas, but because I know that somebody hearing it will either be annoyed that I'm mispronouncing it or delighted that they like The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Since she started working there. I would say probably about 8 months ago or so, we started hanging out outside of work.
How many days can you go in a row without hearing the word brambles, Kayla?
Brambles.
And at the time,
You get
I
lost
had
in
a
those
girlfriend.
brambles?
But kind of, we kind of connected, me and Savannah. So we hung out a little bit here and there. Got
I
pretty
like the name
close.
Savannah.
We come
It used to be
from,
one
I
of
guess,
my like
somewhat
names that I would make
similar-
my characters when I play video games. Savannah or Sophie were my two go-to names for role-playing stuff.
Names are strange because you can do them one of two ways. I mean, as an outside observer, like you can like the way a name sounds or like the way a name looks when it's written.
Yeah, I like
Because
how
there are some I
it was written.
like the way they look, but I don't like the way they sound.
Or
Mine's just like right there in the middle. It's like Wonder Kids. No, Iron Kids
backgrounds, I
bread.
guess you should say.
Bramble on.
She didn't have it the best growing up, neither did I. So we kind of connected, hung out for a little while. I'd probably say
Ryan knows the
period
song.
of
Yeah.
2-3 months.
Okay.
The Angry Pomeranian's back.
And
Jesus.
then
There's so many people in this
she
chat right
started
now.
using drugs a lot.
Little Nash
Now-
Brambler.
So here we go. We're getting into the meat of this finally. They're both into drugs a lot,
Awesome.
right?
I used them with her, not the same drugs that she used all the time.
The
But
horse you were
I
saying?
did them with her a couple times, and then she started to get heavy into them. And
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I understand.
I love, because detectives, no matter what, they just got to like pretend, and who knows, maybe it doesn't at some point bother you. So they'll go like, we're just doing a bunch of drugs. You go, yeah. Locked in, bro.
I kind of just try to take a step back and,
A violent
put
interrogation.
things off.
That's the thing. You don't get those anymore. God knows how many beatings went on before cameras. And there's that one, I can't remember his name, but he lost an eye. The cops beat the shit out of him so bad
man.
because he gunned down a policewoman in a Walmart parking lot. And like, not just like gunned her down, but like shot her. She fell down. He ran up and like plugged her a shit ton more in front of a bunch of people. So when the cops found him, goddamn, it's bumming me out. I can't remember his name, but he, like, by the time the interrogation footage starts and they throw him into this room, the scene is set where he's like beat to a bloody pulp. Like I said, he lost an eye, and it's just like 10 full-blown police officers and all their gear and shit just standing outside that room giving him the death stare because, again, he killed one of them, and like they all probably got their fucking full 10 minutes of whack at this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do heroin, guys.
Right, don't do heroin.
Like, if you learn anything from Artie Lang, which is not much, but don't do heroin.
Look into John Burge in Chicago. He was a police commander that beat the shit out of hundreds of people for confessions for decades.
Right, and that's the craziest thing is like before like policies and procedures, some dudes would like record interrogations on tape, but by and large, nothing was recorded until like the person being interrogated or the detective would hand them in a confession to sign. So there would never be like an audio record or a video record. Like, we're spoiled today. Like, imagine how many ass beatings would go on unchecked today without the virtue of every interrogation room, God willing, being wired with, video and quadraphonic sound.
Right, and SOPs. You're right, Maxwell
Totally.
English. Yeah.
I mean, because like, hello, like, back in the day when you wouldn't give a fuck, like the person would show up to court with a black eye and they go, he fell. Because like everybody on the jury is a good old boy and they go, yeah, he probably deserved it or whatever. We're a little more human now.
Do Molly, it's classy.
And after that, me and my ex started kind of chit-chatting again.
Hope to see you again, Allison.
And who's that? What's her name?
Her name's Chelsea.
Okay.
So we kind of started
Does she have to
chit-chatting
be a
again. Never
detective?
really 100% because obviously, she was still kind of upset about me hanging out with Savannah and stuff like that. And then probably a month or so ago, I saw Savannah at work and she looked healthy again. She gained a little bit of weight and just, friendly talk at work, telling her, hope everything's been good. And she told me, that I guess she did a lot of drugs and ended up in the hospital. She ended up missing like, I want to say a couple of days, 3 or 4 days from work.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, me
Month or so ago.
being pretty close to her, I was concerned and everything.
Here's the thing. Like, if you know somebody, and I hope you don't, because it's a horrifying thing to watch, but if you know someone who becomes addicted to drugs and like goes off the deep end and fries their brain, it's so tragic because there's like, again, if like with RJ eating the Vapor Rub, right? I legitimately can't stop him. I can try to get a minder or a care person on him 24/7, but that's unrealistic. That's the thing. Somebody gets addicted to anything from like, the cheap high of like drinking a bunch of cough syrup because they can't afford meth or don't know where to get meth, or they get meth and you see them snap. someone I knew like went off the deep end, claimed they were God. I was a genius. They were a genius, and everything was according to plan. And then ripped off her shirt in a Walmart parking lot. And I was like, this isn't good.
But after she came back, she looked good. And she ended up telling me that, I guess,
Hey,
over
don't
those
hate
4
on
days,
lazy
she detoxed
eyes.
pretty well, and she kind of caught a new sense into why she shouldn't do drugs so
Good for her.
much.
Okay.
And like I said,
shouldn't
she
do
looked
drugs so
good,
much.
Not
she
so
started
much.
looking healthy.
Maybe a
so,
little.
we kind of were talking, here and there. We hung out a couple times. She came over to the house, and we just kicked back, drink a couple beers, watch movies, stuff like that. And then as we hung out, after a couple times, she brought drugs over. And I told her, I was like, you're doing really good. You can't, you shouldn't be doing it again. You're finally gaining weight. Because when we were together the first time, she was, she got really petite and just didn't look well.
Really petite. She had that drug petiteness.
Which is kind of why I took a step back. Plus,
Yeah, she definitely went into a psychosis. And like it was a tragic downward spiral because sometime after that, she was dating a quasi bandmate of mine. And like she passed out on the kitchen linoleum, like having a conniption. And he just like walked out the front door and left it swinging open. That's what, you hang around really fucking cool people when you're on drugs. Not like good drugs, like mushrooms, bad drugs.
plus my father used a lot of
It
drugs
was Quasimodo.
going on. There was a lot of drugs going on. And it was just kind of a hard thing to see, every time that we hung out. Like I said, we did, we took like some pain pills here and there on occasion, but then she started like bringing heroin over and stuff like that. And that's, my mom was addicted to methamphetamines when she was, when I was younger.
Doing Molly
so
will make you wear tactical
those
thongs.
hard
It's a good thing to hear because I have a heavy investment in the tactical thong industry. However, I'm now facing a myriad of lawsuits for a metric ton of shredded ass cheeks.
hard drugs. Just
So
kinda
much like
scam-related.
Jeff Stacey, you had druggy friends. Did they tell you cops have to admit they're cops if you ask?
Yeah, he asked them before they came in. That was off screen. So he knows they're cops. He said, "Are you guys cops?" And they said, "Yes." And he goes, "Good. I know you can't lie to me." No, I don't actually have any money tied up in the tactical thongs. However, that was my idea. Much like highway hats, the wallet moth, the chair that jerks you off, small claims chop, hobo and the hooker. This place is a fucking juggernaut of brilliant ideas. Not to mention the bathroom cougar. You guys haven't heard that shit in a while, and maybe I'll make you.
Side note,
That's
Ryan
why I took
Maxwell,
step
I have
back
thought
the
about
first
the
time.
Hawaii chair
And then I felt
a
like
lot this week after you had us watch it. And I cannot stop laughing every time I think about that chair.
I dropped that from my mind the first passing through the threshold out of the studio.
Every time I sit at my desk and I turn around in it, all I think about is that Hawaii chair.
Fucking insane.
And it makes me want one.
Like, you want your like words per minute to go down drastically and your grammatical and spelling errors to go up astronomically? The Hawaii chair.
Worth it.
like
Jesus.
she was better, as we hung out recently. And she brought drugs over to my house the last time that we hung out.
Okay.
She's always bringing those drugs over.
We would text here and there. I would ask her how she's doing.
Do you think that like anybody, if a Hawaii chair still exists, it's in the back of a Goodwill somewhere because everybody has forgotten about it. Someone threw like a sheet over it and they go, fuck it.
If I ever find one at a Goodwill, we are buying it and I will cram
We'll
it into
never
your tiny
find
car.
one. They made as many were showcased in that infomercial plus 5, and they all were destroyed. Much like, every time a mad genius makes something and realizes that it can utterly destroy humanity for the better good of literally everyone, they destroy it.
Doing, hope her day's going good. Just because I told her when she left the last time that we hung out, I was like, you're doing really well. Stop doing this. You can do it.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I heard that she just kept, was doing the same thing.
Okay.
Through the grapevine, she was doing heroin, I heard.
We texted a couple times, and I ended up telling her, I was like, hey, for one, I'm dealing with a lot of personal stuff.
All right, and why wouldn't you with the fuck? Because it's a fucking prank chair. It's not a thing. Like, here's, not for nothing, right? Not for nothing, god damn it. But like a wallet moth, a little fabric, wind up mechanical moth you put in your wallet, so when you go to a restaurant with friends and you don't want to pay, you can go, whoop, and it goes, and you go, sorry, no money. Fucking hilarious. Practical, hilarious, great gift idea, fun for yourself and friends. I'll make a 2-pack for $15.99. Give one to yourself and one to a friend. It's fucking hilarious. But you'll know they'll never pull that shit on you. The Hawaii chair made it off the ground. And P.S. Someone did steal my wallet moth idea and turn it into butterflies and put a bunch of candy in it. So, yeah, thanks, Maxwell in English. P.S. Fuck you, butterfly person.
Who would wear them?
I know you're still listening.
Who would wear tactical thongs? That's the question.
Who wouldn't wear
Seriously,
tactical
who
thongs?
would wear them? Yeah, I mean, I'd probably wear one.
Have you ever taken martial arts? Even ladies have to wear cups. Because, your genitals are still... Hello? Moral of the story is, yeah, you want a tactical thong. However, the problem is, like I said before, we found out that it leaves your cheeks basically defenseless. So we're trying to pivot over to a tactical boxer brief. But that's the thing. As long as you are not a coward, you'll probably never get your ass cheeks shredded because you'll always be facing the danger. So your dick and balls will be protected.
Tactical boy shorts.
I think we're moving too fast. I think we should, stop
Kicked
talking.
in the bushy.
And she said, I understand. It's completely fine. No problem. She said, I'll delete your number. I'll never text you again. And I
Drug addicts are usually pretty understanding about shit. Hey, you're on heroin. Never talk to me again. That's fine. I understand. I'll delete your number. That sounds like a regular girl.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, try to jump
Just
back.
decon's female alter.
I think we moved too far.
Yeah, the tactical bra, here's the thing. I am not going to step into the ladies' undergarment arena because I don't know what it's like to own breasts, and I'm not going to pretend like I can fashion any sort of technical equipment for them. I do, however, own a dick and a pair of balls, so I know how to keep those safe, right? I was in martial arts for over 15 years. I know the importance of keeping the dick and balls free of injury, even if you're not. Let's say you've never thrown a kick or a punch in your life. You know the precious, precious safety your genitals need.
Too fast.
The Hawaii chair weighs 300 pounds.
What the hell?
Well, all the mechanisms to make it swivel and stuff.
Imagine living like on a second floor apartment, right? And trying like no elevator. And then P.S. Imagine being the lower neighbor of like the because you know it's going to be a loud ass motor. All of the talking you heard was post-processing and because you're hearing like that probably is like a 2-stroke in it. It sounds like a fucking Johnson outboard motor. Like never take a phone call again. Never spell a word right again. Hawaii chair.
Ways.
Right. Yeah. No worries. Okay.
And that was the last time that we texted.
Okay.
When was that?
It was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Sometime in July.
Right. Yeah, and I think that's one of the things you said was that was the last time that you had contact with her.
Yes.
As far as, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so I mean you correct me.
That was the last time that I texted her.
Yeah, text or a phone call or a messenger.
Yeah.
Or
But
anything
you
like that.
saw
2 to 3
her in
weeks ago.
person
Yeah,
because
okay.
you killed her.
And
That's what I love about lies of omission, because I mean, obviously I don't really love them because they're like a lie to your face is one thing. Like a bold-faced lie, I appreciate more than a lie of omission, because like even when I do like white lies of omission, I still feel kind of shitty about it because it's, you know the thing that everybody or whoever is involved wants or needs to know, but you go, kind of, or maybe not. Like I know, like let's say you accuse somebody of something and you talk about it with another person and they go, I know for a fact that person had nothing to do with it. It's a lie of omission. Because if you know for a fact that that person didn't do it, you probably know for a fact who did do it. And you're a dick. Right?
Yeah. Does she have no shoes on? It looks like her foot is bare. She may have taken her flip-flop off or something.
Wollongate too. No, I think she just has like a very thin sandal. But again, you can't tell because this is like whatever, not even 480p.
And then the last
double
time,
shift.
when was the last time you saw her?
This is what I was a bit. I didn't tell you the truth. Let me talk about this.
Okay.
Last time I saw her was Wednesday afternoon.
Okay.
I heard that she has been basically telling a lot of people at work that.
You know, you're right, Vardnick. Well, there's no right or wrong answer. What I meant to say is I agree. This does, and it may just be like gross, filthy grime and detritus, but in the low res, you can almost convince yourself like it's a sponge, like a sea sponge texture painted wall. Like whoever was in charge of the maybe it was this lady right here. She was in charge of the decorating of the interrogation rooms, and like, you know, they had to pick between like a slight gradient rather of gray. But she's like, you know what? I'm going to get me some sea sponges and fucking really turn this place out. And I think she did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
That we hooked up a bunch. Like,
well, who are you saying is looking sloppy? Because if you're talking about Lee, he's wearing his chef's uniform. Like they pulled his ass out of work. Like at the end, you'll see him cry and like straighten it. And he's like, "This is the last time I get to wear my my chef's outfit," because he knew then and there he was pretty much going to jail. I mean, we'll get to it hopefully. I mean, it's been 11 minutes of footage and we spent 41 minutes talking about drugs. So we may not get to it. Full disclosure, people.
The baseboards match the wall. Yeah.
Before that,
the baseboards match the wall.
They do. It's not.
Wait a minute. Wait.
And she was going to like tell about the whole situation, try to get me fired.
Hello, yeah, detritus. I mean, here's the thing. Learn a few unusual sounding words for mundane shit and you'll blow people away. Like, I'm not one for like necessarily witty or clever wordplay, but I have gotten more than a dozen people like not only impressed by my metaphors and analogies, but often mislabeling them as references or funnies.
Fired.
Why would that get you fired?
I'm manager and she's an employee. So
okay, so you guys aren't supposed to fraternize.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
And she just told people I guess that she was out with that work at the restaurant that we were having sex.
No, I already had one. Thanks for asking.
And, hooking up and stuff like that, and that I was her boyfriend and this and that. So I was a little upset. Obviously, I care about my job.
Sure. How long have you been there now?
It'll be 5 years.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So I was a little upset. So.
Yeah, the lighthouse theme. Like, just put a little. Here's the thing: we went to Goodwill, found 2 little lighthouses, like $8 for the 2 of them because they were tied together. Yeah, put a little lighthouse on there. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like everybody's grandmother at one point had a nautical themed bathroom. So you're probably familiar with that tiny little rough carven wooden sailor with the white beard and the hair and the pipe. I mean, come on.
Allison, I'm the same way. When I put eyeliner or mascara on, my mouth is open and I try so hard not to, but I feel like I have to open my mouth when I do it.
I met her in the parking lot at Bonefish.
When's this?
Wednesday afternoon.
Okay. Well, do you know what time or about?
It was about 5:30.
Okay.
When you say you met her, was she meeting you too, or?
I didn't call her. I just drove up there to see if maybe she was working. I was gonna, talk to her.
I knew that would get your attention, Ryan Maxwell.
And
no spinach was involved, though. It was basically just like an old. He looked like the Gordon's fisherman after he retired, gave up the yellow smock and put on a classic captain's hat and like that blue navy blazer. I mean, come on.
I did.
You did not.
I did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
Okay, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Okay, you knew she was working that night.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I drove up there and I was hoping to get a chance to talk to her.
Okay.
I pulled in the parking lot. She pulled in a little bit after me. I parked, and I said, "Hey,
Hey.
can I talk to you for a second?" And she said, "Yeah, what's up?" And I was like, "I heard you've been saying some things about me and you continuing to hang out, and you know that we're boyfriend and girlfriend." And she asked me, she said, "Can I come sit in the car?" Because I just did some heroin and I'm a little paranoid.
Okay.
I said, "Why are you doing that? You know, you're doing really well. You shouldn't have been doing that."
Okay.
And so she came and sat in the car, and I explained to her the situation. I told her that servers at Bonefish were coming to me and telling me that you're telling people when you're out that.
PS2, like, not for, like, whatever. I don't care what type of job you have. If it's like high paying, low paying, whatever, they don't want superiors fucking inferiors. Because, like, it at least makes it like a gross, toxic work environment where like nepotism and or infighting and shit can happen. I mean, and at worst, you've got like lawsuits and shit on your hands, so just don't fucking do it.
Right.
And especially like if you're just the head chef at the Bonefish Grill, probably making under $18 an hour. Like, especially if you, and he will say this, like he enjoys his job.
Yeah.
There are so many skags out there. Not that Savannah was a skag, but like Lee here looks like he has and will or would have pulled down an army of skags because he had access to drugs and looks like this. Don't jeopardize your fucking, like, the things that you love, right? Like,
Right.
if I love my house and this studio and all the goofy shit in it, but if someone came along and was like, "Hey, would you like a mild excitement for a few minutes once every couple of weeks?" And if anybody ever finds out you'll lose everything, I would say no, probably. But I don't do heroin.
We're still having sex, and we're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Fart.
And I said, I would appreciate, I need you to stop. Because for one, it's jeopardizing my job. We agreed to, split, stop talking mutually and just move on and, be cordial or whatever. But it was nothing more than that. And she said, "I'm going to do what I want. You can believe what you want."
He started
I didn't
shaking
tell
his
anybody
leg.
anything, and
It's been
I
shaking for a
told her,
while.
I said,
Well, his feet were stretched out before, and then
the girl that
Yeah, for like the last, well, whatever, we're 15 minutes in. For the last like 4 minutes, yeah, he's starting to get, because, he's having to sweat out this 14 minutes in real time as I blow hard for the past 50. So like it kind of loses something, but like, he got the initial like shank between ribs 3 and 4, like when he's like, the detective rather said, some of the stuff didn't add up.
yeah.
And now all this shit, and he's like, okay. I mean, he's not backing off on any of this, and I mean, he's like the opposite of the lady detective, where she's like a wolf man from the waist, a wolf woman from the waist down, where he's like calm and composed from the waist up, and he's like a basket case in the legs.
Yeah. Would you like
Well,
a
that you
mild
were-
excitement? Sounds like a very proper Victorian era prostitute.
Okay, so that's the thing. You keep saying exam paper, and this does look exactly like an exam table that you would see in any like PCP office or any
Yeah.
any doctor's office. Like at any moment they could be like, "All right, he's gonna like push the notebooks and the papers and the water bottles off the table and be like, "All right, hop up here and let's check your temperature and reflexes, Lee."
Let's check your
we're out
breathing.
with told Chelsea that we were still having sex and that you were just at my house like yesterday and hanging out, and
The girl
She's-
that she was out with when?
that Savannah was out with a couple nights prior.
Okay, gotcha.
I guess at one of the bars
Okay.
in Mandarin.
And who's that?
Bonefish.
The right.
The girl that she was with.
Yeah,
her
Yeah,
name
check
was
your
Rachel.
prostate.
Rachel. Okay. And Rachel told
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
That Savannah was saying that, because me and Chelsea talk, we're very, friendly at work, we joke back and forth.
Okay.
We're very jokey,
Um,
friendly.
And Savannah said, yeah, I did
Just
say
as-
that. You know, I don't really like Chelsea, you know. And I said, well, look, you need to stop. Because, for one, like I said, we agreed to go our separate ways. And it's jeopardizing my job, and it's making me really upset having to come into work, you know, or talk to Chelsea, and she just constantly, you know, badger me about stuff that you're saying that isn't true.
Yeah.
And I told her that she needs to stop.
It's pretty funny. You're in the Dippin' Dots Brigade. It's pretty funny.
In a booth.
I like it.
At that point,
Okay.
I said, no, stop. Like, I'm serious. I don't
Stop
want-
telling people we're having sex and doing heroin. I like my job at the Bonefish Grill.
want to talk to you. It's not good for us, so let's stop.
Here's the thing. If you're so young that it doesn't matter, then I'll give you a pass. Lee, he looks 52. He's 28. Too old to be fucking around. When I was 18, I did a lot of shit that I probably shouldn't have, that, you know, I would never do as a 20, 30, or 40-year-old. But when I was between 18 and, let's say, 17 and 20, I did a bunch of shit that I probably shouldn't have. Not like necessarily dangerous shit, but like shit that would have got me fired or whatever, because I didn't care. Like, when you've got, you know, hypothetically and potentially 5, 6, 7 decades ahead of you to, like, not fuck up, you go, well, I've got some time to fuck up.
I never did anything that would jeopardize my job.
I didn't ever break anything or do, like, I did, like, non-violent, non-criminal things, let's say sometimes in the vein of Lee Rodarte here, between the ages of 18 and 20 that I definitely would never do beyond that.
And
I am
she
still
just
alive. That's true.
It's true.
said, why'd you do that? You know, I said, well, I'm upset, you know. And she said, fuck you, you know.
And I said, thank you for the
you're a piece of
constructive
shit.
criticism.
And I said, she said she's going to keep talking, you know, telling lies and
Never
stuff
work with a hot
about me and
guy.
everything like that. And I said, and at that point,
Not any hot guy that I did anything with, no. Because the hot guys that I worked with were like the doctor's sons, who were also a bunch of like assholes. They were attractive, but they were also assholes. So I wasn't going to get all in that.
Yeah, I mean, I could, not that anybody wants or needs this, but I could get into a story where, yeah, I was doing a Lee Rodarte where I was the Savannah role. I didn't get murdered. I was the Savannah role, but then I tried to, like, break away from that and just be a normal person with a much hotter girl, and absolutely torpedoed by the person who was my Lee Rodarte.
All the men I work
she
with
had
are
a phone in her
very
hand.
likely gays.
Very likely.
she got out of the car
When you're a hairdresser,
and walked
not
toward
stereotypes be what they will. There's water in the ocean, right?
the main entrance from San
Hot
Jose.
guy changed my bedpan in the
So
hospital.
like if
So this is
like I know Bonefish is like over here. This is San Jose. This is the bank. It's over here in this area. Where were you guys parked?
she was parked here.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, this parking lot had cameras in it. So here's the thing. You go, why are they taking so long to do all this shit? When you have an ace in the hole, you can play out a fuck ton of slack. And so that's why they're going to be like, well, what is this? And, well, you saw a green truck and there was an unknown male. We'll get to it. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Again, we're 16 minutes and 30 seconds into this 1 hour long show. We'll see what happens.
to the left
So
of the five
embarrassing.
Okay.
And I was parked here.
Okay. All right. So you're like here.
Yeah, I was probably 3 spaces away.
Okay, from her
So-
car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't it suck? There's no other way around it. When like super hot people do menial jobs and they have to interact with you and you're most vulnerable,
Yeah.
because you want to be classist, right? Just to sort of take the weirdness away. But like when a 6 between a 6 and a 10 walks in to like wipe your ass or change your bedpan or do something else embarrassing, like you're going to get a procedure, they got to look at your asshole or your dick or balls or genitals or whatever you own down there, and they go, oh, you go, oh God. Like, and you would beg for an interaction with them in any other circumstance, but they're taking a clinical look at your butthole right now. You know you're never going to get that first date.
All right.
So
And what do you drive?
I drive a Chevy Malibu,
Okay, what color is it?
silver.
Silver
Classic.
Chevy Malibu.
Yeah.
Does it have?
Chevy Malibu is the 4-door version of the Impala, and if you don't believe me, then look up the Lumina. And that was before the Malibu. No, it wasn't. It was in between.
Colorado tags, Florida
Florida
tags,
tags.
Georgia tag. Okay, and when you got there, did you pull into the parking place? Did you park sideways? Did you
I
park
pulled
backward?
in. I backed in.
Okay, you're backed in.
Yeah.
You backed into this parking place over by the bank area,
Gross.
by the ViStar ATM.
Yeah.
And you're driving a silver Chevy Malibu with a Florida tag. Okay, and then she pulls in over on this side of you.
Girl.
Yeah.
Okay, so like if you're in the car, you're sitting here, she would be on
Yeah, you ever get your Arby's checked for, Nick? I'll take your comment below.
your left.
So
You're
if
the
I'm,
driver's
Yeah,
side.
no.
sitting
Arby's.
facing forward, yeah, she's
Okay. Does she back in? Does she pull in?
She pulls.
We have the meats, right, guys? There's a gynecologist office down the street, and that's their slogan. I was like, what?
in.
Okay, all right. So when she gets out, she's close enough to you, and that's when you motioned her over or called her over or said, hey, can I
Yeah, I
talk
just
to
said,
you?
hey,
So-
can I talk
Okay.
to you?
Technically, I'm also a unicorn if you count the lower horn, right?
Were you by
Um,
yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, nobody's in the car with you.
No.
And you harvest it and you grind it over some pasta as an aphrodisiac.
Is anybody in the car with her?
No.
Okay. All right. What was she wearing?
Her uniform.
Uniform? Okay. All right. Then she comes over. She says, can I get in the car?
Bullshit, you're the last unicorn. I saw that movie, and if that's you, that's just bullshit.
If I say anything wrong, correct me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna repeat back, but if I
And not for nothing, but Vardnik does feel like the name of that harpy with the huge cans that kills the old lady in the circus. Hello?
don't get something right, I need you to make sure I'm saying the right thing.
You can't.
You say, hey, can I talk to you?
You cry to that song? The America song? Soundtrack by America, by the way. If you guys want to talk about The Last Unicorn, I will fucking burn this footage to the ground, and we will talk about The Last Unicorn for the next 6.5 hours.
If she walks over, approaches.
Have I
on the
watched
driver's
that
side,
one
You in the car
with
or out
you?
of the car then?
I doubt it.
Okay,
Maybe
you're
a long
sitting in the
time ago,
driver's seat?
but
Okay.
I doubt it.
And
I don't know if we've seen The Secret of
she asked,
Men
can she
either,
get in
or
because
you
she's
have.
just done heroin. Okay, and then she.
Right, the tree had huge boobs. Like, everything in The Last Unicorn, if it was a lady and, like, not The Last Unicorn, was just like this huge titted monster. Like, Schmendrick the magician gets his ass tied to a tree who's like the ultra horny alligator from All Dogs Go to Heaven. And like, she's smashing her big old wood cans in his face. It was insane. Like, but and then again, the tree with the boobs is nothing. It can't hold a candle to the harpy's boobs because those were pink, human colored, and had nipples.
Gross.
How does she do it? Does she shoot up?
Horrifying.
She snorts it.
Okay, and then
She's
comes
told me she shot up before, but
Yeah.
Never in front of me.
Okay. And then
No
she comes
fighting
and
in
gets
the typing
in
square.
car with you.
Yeah.
And is your car a 2-door or 4-door?
4-door.
4-door. Does she get in the front seat or the back seat?
She gets in the back, and I asked why she got in the back.
Okay.
She was like, I just don't want anybody to see me, you know.
And where did you get into?
Oh,
She
hey,
said,
lady,
"You
you're
can
here?"
Come back here,
Huh?
and we can talk.
So that's the second time
And
she
so I
said
got
that.
out, and
Yeah.
I got in the back seat.
Okay, so you guys are both in the back
Yeah.
seat now. Okay, gotcha. All right. I wasn't sure.
How normal is it to like invite someone into your car, get out of the front seat, move to the back seat with them, have a nice conversation? Like, you're not in a limo, right? It's a Chevy Malibu. There's as much space up front as there is in the back. But be like, hey, you know what? This steering wheel, totally in the way. Big titted monsters, it's the worst. Watch The Last Unicorn, Ryan Maxwell, if you haven't. Dear God, the villains are villainous. The heroes are heroic. The crazy haired lady who like helps Schmendrick and the unicorn is one of the best characters. The cat is nice ish.
Cat is nice.
The talking skeleton is a great comic relief. But like the guy who owns the castle and it is I love it too, but it's one of those things where it's like one of those 80s / early 90s movies where like you could still horrify kids and nobody seemed to have a problem with it. Oh yeah, the singing butterfly. Holy shit, I totally forgot about that. Yo! Just shook that loose.
And then how the
Which is
conversation
every
went,
day.
Basically, you're telling her to leave you alone.
Yeah.
Stop harassing you, or stop. Why are you telling people that we're having sex and you guys, you don't want to jeopardize your job along
Yeah, I
those
just
lines?
told her, you know,
I want to keep
especially
cooking
since she was
fish.
high, I was like, you know, it's, you know, we just don't need to have anything to do with each other, and she just.
Okay, so here's the thing. You bring up a good point. The Labyrinth is a terrible movie in that it is also horribly scarring because it not only has like the crazy Jim Hensonness of it all, but it's like live action, right? With a cartoon, like with Watership Down or The Secret of NIMH or The Last Unicorn, there's a little disconnect because these are cartoons. But when you're watching Labyrinth, it's like The Dark Crystal too with the Skeksis. It's fucked.
She said,
Hey,
fuck you.
Thomas.
Thomas O'Malley, the alley cat.
Okay.
So I got out, and
then you got back in, and then what'd you say to her?
Oh, that red devil
I
with the
said-
lobster claws.
no, can you leave me alone?
It's pretty weird.
I'm serious. I don't want to talk to you. And she said, fuck you. Why'd you do that? And I said, and she continued to say that she's going to do whatever she wants, you know, and she'll say what she
I
wants.
do what I
No
want.
matter what.
He's the most calm person to like casually describe a murder that like isn't. What's his name? The broken dude who killed that kid who gave him a ride to Walmart. Like he's again, all of his anxiety has sunk into his legs, and his upper body seems totally composed, which is so crazy.
That's me. When I get thought of anxiety, my legs go fucking crazy.
When kids were listening to the Instinct, I was listening to the Labyrinth soundtrack.
My computer crashed. Oh, that sucks, Thomas.
Oh, that sucks. But here's the thing. There were, like, David Bowie, whatever. He's not my, like, go-to for literally anything. But there were a couple good songs, like Magic Dance, not bad. Chilly Down, also not bad. The rest of it, horribly scarring.
What? And
Isn't this dude the Olive Garden?
I
lady
knew in
killer?
my mind.
Bonefish, completely different chain restaurant. They sell fish instead of bags of pasta. Ask Allison.
It was because she was high.
Yeah.
The
So what did you
babe.
say?
But I got
Obviously, you got to get paid.
Remind me of the babe.
Yeah, I got aggravated.
I mean, I would too.
Yeah, I got frustrated.
Yeah.
And I said,
Fun Mars
and
is
then
pretty sick.
Now, you go ahead. I'm
no,
sorry.
go ahead.
We were told that had happened before to her car.
Guys, it's the babe with the power.
Have you heard that?
I didn't heard that.
You had not
Her
heard
car
that.
had been vandalized before. No.
You have?
No,
Okay, so you didn't know about that.
no.
Okay. Same deal? Okay.
Same deal.
Okay,
Murder.
what were you were saying something about the after you got back. Did you get back in the car?
Yeah.
Okay, and did you get in the front seat or the back seat?
I got in the front seat.
Okay, that
Voodoo, do what? Do you do what? Bring me the babe. You know.
time you got in the front seat, and where is she?
She was in the back seat still.
Okay.
Do 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 do. Right.
And at that point, I said, you know, now leave me alone. She said, she responded. I said,
Okay.
and she said, fuck you. You know, I'll do what I want. And she
You
got out.
ruined it.
Good. Fuck that movie. It sucks. Whatever. You can like it if you want, but I think it sucked. Like with the Dark Crystal, all the Jim Henson Muppety shit that was like so off the wall. I've got it over there. Story like Jim Henson's Storytime Classics or whatever, where there's like the Greek versions and like the Old English versions, like the Jim Henson short of like the lion and the girl who like had to live with this troll bitch and like she kept pulling like presents out of walnuts, and then the troll bitch is thrown into like a black void that the lion built into the castle he built for the ogre in an attempt to keep the girl from being killed by the ogress if she didn't build it's a fucking crazy town.
I'm
Out.
so lost.
And it
What
looked
movie
like
are we
she
talking
did-
about?
It's not a movie. It was a Jim Henson's like half an hour special. He did like fairy tales, and then later or before he did like Greek tales. So there's a bunch of different fables that Jim Henson did his little spin to. And that poor blonde girl having to crack open those walnuts and pull out all this stuff, and like it's kind of like the Rumpelstiltskin thing where the bad person in charge asks some idiot to do an impossible task and they do it several times in a row. Except instead of Rumpelstiltskin, it's a lion, and instead of her saying his name and him fucking off, like they both just kill the ogress and live happily ever after as a blonde child and a lion in a castle. Yeah, the presents came out of walnuts, guys.
They're texting or calling somebody, because as you started walking towards there's an entrance to the plaza.
Okay. Yeah, it's closer towards 290.
Listen, I would stop the show and walk over to that armoire right there and find it for you, but we're already an hour and 5 minutes into this 20 minutes of footage. I don't think we have the time.
5? Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't say she was walking along the edge of the plaza, but she was walking maybe towards this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say an older model Ford pickup.
Yeah, sometimes you don't.
Green.
Okay.
Drove past me and around, and she got in.
The Skeksis are bad guys.
Okay. So, she while you guys were in the car together, you guys were talking back and
That's
forth.
funny,
She's
Thomas.
Pretty good.
Or is she calling somebody while you guys are talking back and forth on the phone?
She didn't call anybody. No,
Okay.
she had her phone in her hand.
Yeah.
But I don't think she texted anybody.
So she gets out of the car with you, and starts walking in this direction.
I was in the car.
You're in the car, but she got out.
Yeah.
And now you're in the front seat.
Yes.
So she gets out of the back.
Weren't there like 2 shards? Or was there just the one? Because it was like, not Jonathan Lipnicki. Who is that kid who was Bastion in like the second Neverending Story? The blonde kid. I think he passed away of tragic circumstances in the 90s. Like he was on like Sequest or something. Yeah, I know the crystal broke. I just don't remember if there was more than one shard, because I remember that dark-haired puppet being like, ah, and like stabbing in there, and the Skeksis and the, what were the good guys? Everybody remembers the Skeksis. Who were those like sauropod-looking motherfuckers who were the good version of the Skeksis? Anybody? Just the one missing piece? Thank you.
The back seat and begins walking in the direction of, not necessarily
Atreyu. No, not Atreyu.
Mystic.
Jonathan Brandis. Yes, thank you.
paralleling.
Detective. When did she kill herself, Lee? Nah, man. I killed her.
Detective, yeah.
You're good. Oh, damn.
San Jose, but she's walking
Oh,
towards...
yeah, the Mistives. Yeah, that was the thing. Let's not talk about Dark Crystal for much longer. However, when, like, at the beginning of the movie, when that sick Skeksis and the sick Mystic, like, both die, fucking insane. And they just, like, vanish, and they do that thing where, like, the bed sheet, like, they just, whoop, disappear, like they've been teleported onto the Enterprise, and their, like, sheets and blankets in the bed just go, woo. Okay, no more Dark Crystal.
Let's talk about cars.
Talking about Rodarte Crystal.
Yeah.
And then she's got her phone, and you said you thought she was calling somebody?
She had it in her hand and looked like, I mean, I couldn't tell if she was texting or not or anything.
But she had her phone out.
Yeah, she had her phone out and was looking at it, and then it looked like she was going to put it up to her ear, and then the green truck came around.
Okay.
Who are you going to attract with a OnlyFans page called Skeksis? Right? Like, that would be if I started one and oh, fuck. Now I can't remember who they were. Okay. Shit. The Wheelers. The Wheelers from Return to Oz. With What's-Her-Face, Fairuza Balk playing Dorothy. Like, yeah. Like, if you have a OnlyFans for Skeksis and it's a lady, if there's an OnlyFans for dudes, it'll be the Wheelers and it'll be me.
And
how long do you think...
Skeksis, and I know it.
Between the time that she got
Seriously, no more Dark Crystal talk, you guys.
Got out and started using her phone to that green truck.
Yeah, the Wheelers. She had a face. Here's the thing. Queen Mumby had a face. what she did not have was a head. And when I say she has a face, she had several faces attached to dozens of heads that she kept in that hallway, right? How did she lose her head? I don't know. I watched the movie a bunch. But she lopped off all of the girls' heads in the town and kept them in that, but still beautiful, like turn of like steampunkish, like glass hallway that looks like it came out of the Louvre or some steampunk nightmare. Woof. Yeah, the Wheelers are fucked.
Maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
Queen of Hearts was Alice in Wonderland. Vardnik knocked that off.
Wow. So if she called somebody, they got there in 5 minutes to pick her up?
Well, I mean, like I said,
So fast.
it looked like she was going to call somebody.
The head collection was fucking crazy, especially when like Dorothy has to steal the key, right? And they all start screaming at her. Imagine being Fairuza Balk, an 8-year-old in Oz that is now a dystopian hellhole. And you take the key, and all these heads are just screaming at you, and this headless body with like Mr. Sinister wings are just like running through the halls. Jesus Christ.
Somebody, and that's when the green truck came around, and she
Keep
got
the
it.
townhouse.
So she gets in the truck. What happened at that one?
They drove back around, kind of looped around a little bit.
Which way did they drive?
So she would say, like,
Was there mushrooms? Not in Return to Oz, I don't think. She had the lunch pail that looked like a strawberry that had like turkey sandwiches and shit in it.
here.
Mm-hmm.
The green truck comes here.
The green truck.
Kind of just loops around.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked, I guess they exited that way, and at that point, I left.
They exited going which way? Down Santa?
Towards Claire
295?
Lane. I guess to leave the
So they come out on the back side of this bank.
Yo, The Land Before Time was fucked too. Like, I don't know. There were so many. Put it like this: like you were either in the 90s, you were just as likely to be an orphan in a children's movie, and you never knew your parents, so you have a sad life. Or the other side of that coin, you'd flip is like, you watched your parents get murdered before your eyes, like Bambi or whoever. Like, it's fucking crazy.
Like this way?
Yeah.
Towards Claire and San Jose?
Yeah.
And then you pull out. Which way do you go?
Right. And mom fights Sharptooth and he bites her neck and horrifying.
I go around and then go out.
The last tree star is right.
Same way?
Yeah.
Okay. And where do you go from there?
From there, I go home.
You just go straight home from
So
there?
tell me your route on the way home that you went.
Lee Rodarte.
295 all the way to Beach Boulevard to Grove Park, and then Grove Park.
How long does that usually take you?
Mm,
Depending on traffic, obviously.
the trap, I think it usually takes me about 25 minutes or so.
Okay. What happened to your neck?
That was self-inflicted, actually.
Why?
I just have been having kind of a hard time.
Your neck?
I couldn't. Yeah, I did. And
What did you use?
a knife.
So this is most times when what they're talking about now is like the defensive wounds that he received from Savannah, and like what the fuck? Like, I get why he's doing this pull where he goes, the scratches on my neck and my arm were self-inflicted. But typically, if you have a knife and you're trying to cut yourself, you're not doing it in groups of 4. They're not jagged. Like, your knife should be sharp and not shaped like a fingernail.
Some time.
Right? By this part, Thomas, you mean the interrogation, right? Because even if you, hypothetically, because we don't know the crimes that go unsolved or undetected, right? Because there's God knows how many of those, because we don't know. But just the idea of like the possibility of having to spend hour after grueling hour with 2 people who definitely hate you but are paid to not, and you have to put on a show for them essentially for the rest of your life because there's no statute of limitations on murder. You're going to just have to, like, oh my God, I don't do half of the shit that can land anyone in jail. Like, nothing I do will ever get me a prison sentence at all, and I still stress about it. I killed 0 people.
In July.
And I knew it was going to be Michael J. Fox for it, Nick. I knew it.
Yeah.
Bloody?
Well, I kind of peel the scab here and there at work.
You know, while I'm cooking food, I peel a scab here or there at work. I flick it onto a plate.
Stuff like that. I peeled it last night working. And it was coming off a little bit today, so I peeled it a little bit.
All right, let me see.
But this was the same night. This one was just a lot worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, there are people who do things maliciously to the diners at restaurants, but you know, Lee, he's like passively just picking biohazards off of himself and chucking them around the kitchen.
And this one was.
Okay. And that was in July?
Yeah.
Okay. Like a few weeks back.
No, 0 people, Thomas. I swear to God, 0 people. Nobody died in my hands.
Yeah.
Okay. So who could you see who the person in the truck was?
The truck had fairly tinted windows. I saw
Fairly. An unknown
a
male.
baseball cap.
Yeah.
So many fucking people are running around in baseball caps committing crimes. When, like, how many people out there do you see in your life even wearing a baseball cap? Maybe if you're at a baseball game,
Right.
but not in real life. I don't even see a lot of hats. Like, when I wear one of my nice hats, I feel like I stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, you kind of do.
You see a guy, girl, white, black?
I couldn't really
Adios.
tell if it was a guy or a girl.
Okay.
I just remember seeing the truck drive and her get in.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm sitting in front and truck drives right past me.
It's a Boston
And
cap.
I saw a baseball cap
I don't watch baseball,
through the
but
passenger
it's a Boston
window.
cap. What was Chris getting at? Right? It's a Boston cap. Yeah, Chris, it's a Boston cap. So?
But
So did it seem like she knew the person?
I mean, she got right in.
Had you ever
Thank you, Thomas.
seen the
Fair
truck?
part of the show.
No,
Never. Have you seen it since then?
no.
Did
Why
she
did-
say?
Okay.
Well, did she say anything to you when she got out of the car, other than
She was just
Fuck
like,
you.
"Fuck you."
She's like, fuck you. I'm getting into this late 90s green Ford pickup with an unknown male, and you'll never see me again. And that's the last I heard of her, officer. I swear to God.
I
Do what I
swear.
want. And
She doesn't
got
say
out.
anything other than that? Okay.
Lee, why didn't you mention this?
Right. That's the thing. If you watch, I'm sure Baked Salmon is right when he's like, when he said that Chris probably had a joke or something loaded, but seeing as how Lauren was like, well, I watch baseball. He's like, well, fuck. Thanks for ruining that, Lauren. Yet another thing ruined by Lauren.
Damn it, Lauren.
Boston cap. Yeah.
Don't you think that information
I mean,
is
it definitely,
important?
it definitely does. And I regret obviously not saying anything before.
Obviously, I regret that.
I talked to Chelsea, and she said, you need to tell them what you know and everything.
When did you talk to Chelsea?
Lauren?
When did you talk to Chelsea about?
Lauren Giddings? Could you imagine if Lauren Armstrong and Steven McDaniels made a gay couple? Steven!
This?
Dive in.
Yes.
Okay. When did you talk to her?
The day that it happened,
Okay.
because I mean,
Yeah, his flourishing career at the Bonefish Grill, right? Like, he could have pivoted into a Red Lobster or an Olive Garden or any other of the Darden Corporation. But know what? He's like, you know what? I'm tired of making bony fish. I'm not gay. I'm not bi. Yeah.
her whole issue with me was me hanging out with Savannah
Sure.
prior.
Yeah. And if Savannah's out of the picture, then you guys can be free to have your relationship, be back together.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Savannah's in the way, in essence, right? I mean, she's kind of creeped in. I mean, she sounds like she's an ass. I mean, she's that way to you. If she's out there telling people you guys are having sex, and if you're not, or if you are, then she's the one that's kind of pushing your buttons. She's pushing
I
Chelsea's
mean,
buttons.
I told Chelsea that I was gonna tell her, to leave me alone.
You were going
and
to tell
stop.
Savannah?
Yeah.
When did you tell Chelsea that?
I believe it was Tuesday
Okay.
night, maybe.
Tuesday night.
Please, dear God, let this be the corn dog reference. If you don't know, you're about to know. If not,
And you, how do you guys talk? Do y'all Facebook talk,
Text
text?
message.
we Facebook talk, basically.
Okay. And do you have a Facebook?
No.
Okay. You don't have one at all?
I had one.
Okay.
I deactivated it a maybe a month or two ago.
I have, yeah, so there is going to be some corn dog talk coming up. Thomas, you'll love it. I have not, actually, I have heard of the Candid Fellows. I believe, yeah, if he does the James Clyde one where he calls like a rental car place and talks to them about Chinese food, fucking hilarious.
Okay. It's still there, or you don't use it, or you actually
I deactivated the account.
Okay. So
Now, if you're a corn dog fan, stay tuned.
no, you don't have one that's out there.
No.
Chinese food, prison food.
I did have one when Savannah and I first started talking. That
Okay.
was kind of how we talked.
You wait for you guys to talk without Chelsea knowing what was going on. I'm not telling Chelsea. I'm just.
Yeah, you nailed it. I will be your manager for the corn dog reference.
No, okay, yeah.
So when I come up and talk to you
Welcome to
yesterday,
Beacon for a second.
I'm not threatening. I'm talking to everybody up there. What? Why?
Well, I just, I freaked out, to be honest with you. I mean,
this girl's missing?
yes.
Dedicated my life to corn dogs and corn dog related affairs. So let me ask you this. What affairs are related to corn dogs? Beyond like state or county fairs, right?
Okay. But you know she's been missing. I mean, you knew from in essence from day one that she is that she's missing, and you.
Here's a fun fact. If you ever go someplace and there's somebody making corn dogs at a cart, like at a fair or an event, you're never more than 50 feet away from a fried Oreo dealer.
You freaked out that you had to know.
Obviously, I was the last one.
David's broken.
I don't talk about it with outsiders. All right, respect for the corn dog
See
cult.
her. So I was a little bit scared at that.
How do you know
And,
you just said you weren't the last one to see her. You just said
Shakespeare.
somebody in a truck.
well, I mean, the last one to see her at
Oh my
Bonefish.
God.
Okay.
That the last
Ye old corn dog.
one she's heard from,
Right.
had contact with, that anybody knows of.
Sure.
Oh my God.
And I thought that I had a warrant out already.
Why is that still so funny to me? God damn it.
Okay. What's the warrant?
I didn't go to a court date for a ticket,
Okay.
so obviously
But
I didn't.
I talked to you last night.
Yeah.
And I didn't have handcuffs. wasn't threatening in any way.
Definitely not.
And
But I mean,
Sorry, yeah, I tipped my hand too soon. We're half an hour and he hasn't mentioned the corn dogs yet. They are in here, I guarantee. He talks about texts and eating corn dogs and the fact that those texts don't exist. There might be some juicier details. We'll see what
And I
happens.
left. So, what were you? You were worried. If you were worried you were going to get arrested, then that would have happened.
well, I mean, that's another reason that
Live.
Chelsea called me and I said, I told him I didn't, know anything. What do I do now? I already.
When did you talk
Alrighty.
to Chelsea about that? When did you talk to her?
There are. I love you, Thomas. That is fucking hilarious. That's one of those perfect, hilarious comedy world situations, right? Where like this detective goes like, hold on, you know what? It's getting a little late and I haven't eaten yet. And he pulls his jacket pocket open and he pulls out like a full-blood corn dog. It's like steaming and shit. And he reaches into his other pocket and pulls like one of those peel back McDonald's cups of like
Mustards.
mustard or barbecue sauce or honey ranch or whatever. Fucking hilarious.
About that you talked. It had to have been after last night.
Oh,
so was
Jesus.
it today?
No, I didn't talk to her today.
Okay, so I was up there talking to you last night at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So did you talk to her
No, I'm
after
sorry.
that?
It was earlier in the day.
Here comes the corn dogs, please.
Because obviously I told her what happened the day that it happened.
Mhm.
And told her that I was going.
Yeah, he probably walks around with like his jacket pockets stuffed full of corn dogs in those like foil lined hot pocket sleeves. He's like, this is gonna be a long interrogation. It's like a 4 corn dogger.
Tell Savannah to leave me alone.
You guys ever hear about the time I did 7 corn dogs worth of interrogation? Jesus Christ. What a
The
day.
day before.
Pronto pups? That is weird, Ryan.
And after I told her, what happened.
Poor corn dog.
Not for nothing. Let's keep talking about corn dogs. But like there is a corn dog based restaurant right next to the grocery store we go to. I think it's called Two on a Stick or something about dogs, but like it's whatever. It's a small in a strip mall. It could be as good as hopefully my Subway will be one day, but it's just a small hole in the wall that sells corn dogs.
Happened about me, getting in the car with some guy.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit just about, how it's kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? And I said, well, she hasn't hung out with the best of people in her past.
Okay.
And she asked me if I knew who it was. I said no. Just told her it was, a green truck.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything happened, and her mom and the police came up there and everything like that. So we talked Thursday night, and she said, "Hey, you need to tell somebody."
Okay.
And I was like, "I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I don't want to."
All right, here's Maxwell's $1 million idea. You know those breakfast corn dogs? Yes, I remember the breakfast corn dog. You get the pancake outside of the sausage. Great. Same thing, but cinnamon roll instead.
I could get behind that, Ryan Maxwell.
Scary when we go. Cinnamon roll with a sausage in the middle?
Yeah, sweet and salty. Yeah, like you put bacon in the middle or whatever.
I will make you this one concession. I will allow something as fucking ridiculous as a Cinnabon around a sausage link if one of you motherfuckers will admit that pineapple and pepperoni on a pizza is fucking delicious. It's the same fucking concept. Everybody who says pineapple doesn't belong on a pizza should not talk about corn dogs ever.
Get in trouble for, anything or have
McGriddle.
anything,
Yeah, you got it.
Be a suspect or anything like that, which, obviously wasn't the right decision to make.
Yeah.
Because now,
yeah, because we're going to find out
looks,
stuff.
You would
obviously,
have gotten 3 days ahead for this.
Thank you, Ryan. How many times in my life have I said, listen, people, put yourself a little pineapple, a little pepperoni. If you're feeling adventurous, throw a little black olive on that pizza. Really up the salt and have a little texture involved. You know how many motherfuckers looked at me as if I had just proposed a second Holocaust? All of them. Except for you, Ryan. You and me are brothers.
Say sausage in a French
obviously
accent.
now
Sausage.
So you're saying that there's a green, what kind of truck was it?
It looked like a Ford, like a mid 90s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was a 2-door, maybe the one with the little third door.
Extra marina
that you open
sauce.
from the side.
Okay.
Marinara.
Can you name all 3 configurations of trucks? 2-door, the type with the suicide door, and the type with all 4 full-size doors. If you can answer all 3 of those, I'll put your name right there.
Well, the good thing about that is we should be able to verify all of those kind of things. That won't be a problem at all. Yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I mean, so you said that you told her that you had talked to us, but I don't think that could, chronologically, I don't think that could match up.
Okay. We talked Thursday.
Okay.
And
Not last night after
no.
we talked. Or this
we talked Thursday.
Oh, really? I didn't watch Attack of the Killer Tomatoes in any seriousness. But the gummy bears, mustard and peanut butter does feel like a, what you call it? Like the pizzas they would eat in the Ninja Turtles animated series, but not beyond. Like they'd eat sour cream or whipped cream and sashimi or sushi or marshmallows and peanut butter and shit. But like in the movies or in the serious shit, I don't think they did that shit. I think the zany pizzas were for the kids.
Okay.
After her mom and everything was on the news.
Yeah.
She called me and was like, hey, everything's all over the news. You need to tell somebody, she said call the hotline or something like that.
Did you call the hotline?
I told her I did, just because.
Wait, what's better than pineapple? Thomas, what's happening? Is there dissension in our ranks?
I was scared to call that night.
So, but did you ever call the hotline?
No.
So you haven't told anyone yet of this, other than
Chelsea's the only person that knows.
I could kind of see peanut butter being on a burger pretty good.
Just because I felt like
Ryan, like, yeah.
We've done I've rather done some crazy stuff. When you start making pizzas at home, you start throwing zany ingredients at the wall because sometimes you get so good with the basics, you decide to go freewheeling. So I'll throw like pickles and enchilada sauce and stuff on a pizza because like if it makes sense like in food theory, totally cool.
I've
Did you and
wanted
Chelsea
to be
talk?
truthful.
So how'd that conversation go with you and Chelsea?
She kept asking.
It's like when I had I'll never eat this again because it probably implanted the seed of colon cancer in me. However, like I got this huge food truck sandwich. There was a giant biscuit, like a whole chicken, and like a gallon of apple butter on it. And it sounded horrifying to me. I took the first bite and I was in love.
Asking me, it's like, what happened? What happened? And I would tell her, and she said, it's crazy. And then she told me that, I need to call somebody and let them know that I was talk to her Wednesday.
I don't need to get a colonoscopy. I'm only 40. Give me a break.
Hey, they start at 40.
No. I'm never getting one. Here's the thing. I don't care if my lower gut and intestinal tract blows up to the size of like that floating, disgusting fat guy in Dune, right? The original Dune with Sting. I don't care if it gets to that point. I don't want a colonoscopy or an endoscopy. I don't want cameras in or out of any of my orifices. Not cool. Don't want it.
Live stream the colonoscopy.
Like, go watch Ryan Reynolds if you want to see the inside of some famous person's asshole. I'm a nobody. You don't want to see inside my ass.
Listen.
Yeah.
And I said I would.
You'll go with me?
Didn't.
How'd the
Go with you.
conversation end with you guys?
I won't let them hurt you.
All right, if you hold my hand, Thomas O'Malley, and you wear a cat nose, I'll get a colonoscopy.
Look, there's things you can do now that you don't have to get the tube up your ass. You can shit in a bag and send it.
No, for a colonoscopy, they need to send a camera up your ass.
No, I understand that's a colonoscopy, but they have cola screens or cola guard or something like that where you send it for testing instead.
It doesn't matter. They'll still want a screening every 5 to 10 years. I don't want one every 20 years, every 50 years. I don't want to watch it like you do, Vardnik. I don't want to have one unless Thomas goes with me because I'll need someone to drive me home because I'll be fully anesthetized.
She told me she's basically
Beautiful
said that
on
she's
camera.
not
Thank you. I pride myself on my, what's the word? My photogeneity of my colon.
She doesn't want to associate with me because I will talk to Savannah on Wednesday. It's essentially
you had
the
already
gist
told her
of-
you were.
Oh, I thought you were just a fan of Kiss, which I also am.
Okay, so
Listen, you can't get much more butthole talk than this, and I'm trying to wean away from it.
You
but it's
gotta
not.
stop saying butthole. It's like the Hawaii chair in word form. I cannot handle you saying the word butthole because it makes me laugh every fucking time.
I shouldn't have to scream that. It's hilarious. You
You
can't
see, the
colon.
thing with me and Chelsea would argue all the time about me not telling Savannah
to cut it off or whatever.
Yeah.
But you go
Knock it
up
off.
and you meet. Chelsea knows that you're going to go meet Savannah Wednesday afternoon.
Yes.
She knows that. Afterwards, do you guys talk about how that conversation went?
No.
Yes.
Okay. So so she knows how the conversation ended,
Yes.
and you told her that night, Wednesday night, about the truck and about her. Is there?
So you saw the first of many edits. A lot of the juicier parts of this interrogation have been cut out by God knows who. Sorry about that. It's annoying because if we get to it again, we're 30. How long have we been going? We're half an hour into this hour, right?
Hour and a half. We've been in doing this for an hour and a half.
Hold your breath, people. We're going under again.
So you just called her and told her?
No, we
Evanescence
spoke
song?
first via text.
Okay.
Going under.
Technically.
So you text her from your phone.
Yes.
So that's on your phone?
Yes.
Okay, so that text message is on your phone?
No.
Why not?
You know, they said Savannah was missing because I freaked out. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds like
Which is,
crazy.
Which is,
So you...
I mean, obviously, me sending a picture of one of the things that they pointed out on the news kind of scared me.
Sure,
So-
absolutely.
I don't think this is a violation of any sort, but since we're all talking about buttholes, you know, once you get one, they're going to snap a series of pictures and take some footage, probably. And thanks to electronic medical records and stuff, they'll be anywhere between 12 and
45.
24 pictures of the inside of your asshole that will be attached to your medical records in 4K for anyone who has the authorization to see.
Yeah, and color.
Yeah.
It's all the
4K.
things. They can show polyps
Yeah, it's
and
not night vision.
fucking
They're not
everything.
looking for raccoons to visit a water hole.
Yes, once you get a butthole, Ryan, I was going to be like, he means a colonoscopy. But yes, once you get a butthole, you'll have photos of it everywhere.
No, once you get a butthole, they'll stick something in it and look at it and take pictures. Never get a butthole.
I remember when he ultimately
so
confesses he had a hilarious teardown and pep talk to himself when the detectives are out of the room. He's like, you had everything going your way, Lee, you donkey.
Right. And like his fucking sister is like his whole family are losers. And he brings up his sister because she like went to jail for murder too.
Nice.
Coincidentally. Yeah. And he cries his ass off because like, you know, when you come from a family where like your closest relative is rotting away in prison and so are all the distant relatives, you know, becoming the head chef at a Bonefish Grill is like when you're the first person to go to college in your family for the last 12 generations. It's just fucking sad that he's a moron. Like, it's not like he's not hilarious like Sarah Boone or empathetic like any of the other people who have like found themselves into desperate situations that we've all seen the footage of. He's just like a real fucking asshole.
Wow, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Do you guys get together, or y'all talk anymore Wednesday night? Does she do a follow-up with you?
Roll with
How'd
the scope in there.
conversation go? How'd the rest...
Yeah. Like roll us in like she woke up and was like, time to go. Like, here's the thing. If I wake up and something's hanging out of my butthole, I'd be like, let's finish that first. I'm not going to run to the car.
You might not feel it if your butthole's numbed.
Well, yeah, they definitely anesthetize you. But if you're coming out of it, here's the thing. You have eyes if you wake up in a weird place and you roll, like you're obviously on your side of your stomach and you roll over and there's a doctor behind you and an anesthetologist and possibly a PA or a nurse or whatever. You're going to be like, all right, smell you dudes later.
Gotta go.
I got an Uber Eats shift to hit.
She called me on my way home.
Okay.
And you know, asked where I was.
Wait, what? Hell, my family is well off and I still come home with my chest out, smelling like flounder. Right, because you're the head chef at Bonefish. I'm not what's the word? Denigrating his position as head chef at Bonefish. Because I'm not one to position shame or whatever. But it's just sad that like he got to where he wanted to go, to a thing he wanted to do, and he's like, you know what? Heroin and killing bitches was better.
Yeah.
When I told her I was like pulling in my neighborhood. And then we just talked about the situation. She asked what I said to Savannah, what Savannah said to me.
Listen, you don't have to tell me, Vardnik. I work at a gastroenterology and endoscopy center, so I know how many people are there looking at your asshole as things are plunging in and out of it. Not a fool.
and and she asked what.
Sometimes I'll sneak in just to be like, hey, you got room for another?
Hey.
I'm a biller typically, but I want to see that butthole.
Because she was texting me
IRL, not just pictures.
and I didn't reply because we were talking.
Yeah.
And
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember reviews of such films as The Bonefish Grill
we were going back and
and
forth.
the erotic adventures of Hercules. Hercules, the Cyclops ripped off all my clothes.
The Troy McClure and oh god, the sister.
And Doug McClure.
Which one was it?
Patty.
With Patty. That episode always bummed me out. I felt so bad. I know she was whatever. I felt bad for her because he was using her.
Listen, Patty and Selma are closeted. And whatever. Troy had a weird fish fetish. They were both using each other, but Patty fooled herself into thinking there was something there. I felt Selma? Sorry.
I felt bad at that episode, much like I always get bummed out with the Rick and Morty ones where Rick is like about to like off himself
Whatever.
those two
Sad
times.
shows are sad. We get it. If you like Troy McClure, look up Doug McClure.
I didn't text her back, and I told her, I'm not ignoring.
How many buttholes did you see, Vardnik? Triple digits? Quadruple digits?
You. We were talking, and then so she called me and asked me what I was doing. I said,
Yeah, bingo. You work at McDonald's, you don't want a Big Mac. You work at a gastrology and endoscopy place. You're tired of having Doc Ock in both holes.
in the neighborhood, about to go home. Went home. We texted a little bit more here and there. She asked me what I was
Butthole
doing,
parade.
what I was eating.
Welcome to the Disney's Electric Butthole Parade on Main Street. We
need to stop saying butthole.
The spinning butthole bee.
I sent a picture of her after I got the shower. She was like, "Oh,
This is the
I haven't got any
butthole
pics," and
unicorn
this and that.
episode.
So as I was getting out the shower, I got the text message. I texted her a picture of me getting out the shower because she said,
Sent her a dick pic. She was like, nice. I was like, yeah, it's pretty sweet. God, I hope the corn dogs come up soon. I hope I did not tell you something that we're not going to have time to get to.
she didn't believe I was home
Okay.
or something like that.
Told her about corn
So I
dogs.
sent her a picture, and other than that, I hung out at the house.
Okay.
By yourself?
Get to the fucking corn dogs, Lee.
No, I have a roommate.
I'm gonna level with you guys. There's a lot more buttholes
Hey,
than I expected.
Every time a butthole shows up, you go, well, that's a surprise. And if they show up a lot, you go, well, I opened the door.
I expected a
You
lot.
expected a lot. I'm glad you came with the right attitude.
P-I-E-G-E-R.
P-I-E-G-E-R.
Yeah, he's
P or B?
B.
B. Okay. Okay. He's what? Sorry.
He's
Here's the thing. Learn the NATO alphabet. Save you a fuck ton of trouble. A, B, C. There are a lot of letters that sound alike. If you know Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, etc., Zulu, Hotel, Indy, all of them. X-ray. Learn them all.
I don't know all of them. I just find something that I know everybody knows is like D as in dog. Like, because
That's
I
bullshit.
don't remember all the
Alpha,
things.
Bravo, Charlie. No, sorry. A, B. Yeah, Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, F, G, Golf.
Golf.
Yeah. G, H. Hotel, Indigo. Oh, I don't remember J.
Java.
Chinko jeans. Something like that. Kilo, Lima, Mike, NATO. Maybe not NATO.
What's the song that had some of that in it?
Oscar, Papa,
Juliet.
Quebec, Rango, the movie. I forget. I had it taped up. But that's the thing. You learn most of them, and then I always had the thing tape up. So I go, Romeo, Bravo, Delta, Charlie,
Who
It
I'm
saves you
looking
time.
Okay.
Every time Dave says
So
butthole,
Wednesday
an
night over
angel
the
gets
house
its
and-
wings.
Get tiny little wings on each side of its butthole.
What was
You
the
in here.
song?
Sierra, bingo. What song?
There was a song where some of these came up. Foxtrot, blah blah blah. It was like a pop song or something back in, I want to say, the
What does the
90s or
fox
early.
say?
No. Somebody help me. Help me, please. Somebody.
Listen, the answer is Gary Busey
Ryan,
because it doesn't
I
exist.
know you know the answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Romeo, Oscar, Delta, Alpha. Oh, fuck. What is R? Romeo. Yeah, sorry. Romeo.
What are we doing? Just play.
Rodarte.
The
There
thing.
you go.
When you spell someone's last name just some dumb shit on the phone, you have to go Delta, Alpha, Video, Indigo, Delta.
No, Thomas, I wasn't listening to military transmissions. It was a song.
Yeah, she was sitting there listening to like that old-timey World War II field radio thinking it was the pop hits when it was just a bunch of static and people screaming, yelling
God damn it.
the NATO alphabet and explosions. Tango, yes, thank you.
11
Let's go Tango
-ish?
Foxtrot, yeah.
Okay.
A little bit after.
Whiskey Tango
Before
Foxtrot.
that, you just hung
Yeah,
out.
but that
What
wasn't
about Tango
I'm
and
thinking
Cash?
of.
Anybody remember that movie? That had part of the phonetic NATO alphabet.
House by yourself at 8.
Tokyo Rose.
I ate some dinner, took a shower. Chelsea actually came over Wednesday night, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Talk about the corn dogs.
Just hung out, watched movies, drank a couple beers.
Couple Dos Equis.
Had some corn dogs.
So where, when she's in the car,
Where are the corn
what
dogs?
does she say to you about what her plans are? So she's scheduled to work that night.
Mhm.
So she's going to work.
She didn't talk about, I assumed she was going to work.
Mhm.
She was in her uniform. But she didn't say, when she got out the car, she didn't say anything after she got out of the car.
And she gets in that truck. Let's be honest. We won't even call her she. Savannah. Okay.
We won't even call her shit.
Savannah.
She has a name.
Again, with this picture, if we're using it in the same place, from where your drawing was, they drove over here. You're here, and they drive out over here. Do they stop? Does she get out and go into work? Does the truck keep going?
I didn't see once they turned the corner past the ATM.
Mhm.
Once she got in and they left,
There was no green truck. There was no unknown male. They've got video.
I left
You
because I just.
Did you run into him on the road anywhere?
No.
Okay. Did she call you later on or text you later on?
Savannah.
You think when the detectives interview the head chef at Bonefish, they're in the parking lot before they go in, like, you got any coops? This can go well for you if you got them coops.
Coops. I don't know what you're talking about. It's funny.
No other contact with her.
Is he pulling a coup?
So where's Savannah right now?
I don't know.
Where would I find her?
I don't know.
Well,
Coupons!
That's my prime.
Oh. Y'all got them coops?
objective.
Got it. Got it.
I'm not from there. I'm from Arizona. I don't know what coops are.
I think time's
Coops?
Discount. Is that a southern thing? You got them coops? Like they call all soda Coke and they call all discounts coops?
I feel like
Triple
Francine
coop day
Smith
at the Kroger's.
from American Dad would, if she went into couponing, she would call them coops. With Roger. They'd do some weird shenanigan and Roger would be like, got them coops? Yes. Yes. I can see that.
Here's the thing. Ryan tried to look up your insane thing that doesn't exist, and it turns out it doesn't exist.
There is a song
It does sound like an STD. Everything you think sounds like an STD, especially
the
Gary
butthole.
Busey.
Gary Busey. What?
And I think that
I should have said something to you
Yeah.
guys when I talked.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
should have
you
said
should.
something
I think-
Wednesday or Thursday when it was brought to
so.
everybody's
Tell
attention.
me how I go from nice guy, never met you. You seem like a nice guy. I come up and talk to you again. Out of you, you.
Hey, some kind of murderer?
Threatening or anything about our conversation. Just asking you for some basic, simple things. We talked for just a few minutes, and you didn't tell me this story. I'm not going to say the truth because I
Because this is bullshit, and this story is bullshit. So what's up with that, Lee?
think there's holes in this story too.
Lima Echo Echo?
So you don't tell me this story. And then today we're talking again because I brought you down to talk to you because I found holes in that story that didn't match up. And now you're telling me another story that there's holes in this story that does not match up. So
Foxtrot Uniform Charlie Kilo. There was a fucking song by the Bloodhound Gang. Is the song Foxtrot Uniform Charlie Kilo by the Bloodhound Gang is the song that I am referring to. Somebody needs to listen to it and believe me.
I like Hooray for Boobies.
God damn it.
beyond that, I was like, I'm glad you're a huge American Dad fan because holy shit, if you want to talk about American Dad, talk about a show that starts as grounded as possible, right? Like season 1, like it's completely, utterly believable characters and situations minus the talking goldfish Klaus and Roger the alien. By the time we get to season 18, there's retcons every fucking episodes and everything is a dream or an alternate universe. Like, holy fuck. They did what the Simpsons are doing, but right. Like, they went off the rails, but into, like, an insane multiverse bullshit, and I love the fuck out of it.
It's super good.
So,
Pazuzu.
Where's Savannah?
Pazuzu.
Where?
Why were you being
Does Pazuzu show up in American Dad?
I don't recall an episode with Pazuzu, but
I mean, there has been a lot of buzz around The Exorcist recently, so that's what you're talking about, Allison. I can dig it.
hesitant about
It's
Chelsea
okay,
being
Ryan.
in your house? You first said
I forgive
that
you.
went by yourself. You
Yeah, just do a Google search for every song ever made that uses the NATO alphabet, and you should have found it. The golden poop that Roger squatted behind that bush at the power substation was a very compelling sub-arc that I think they did not know how to, like, it felt like they wanted to do something crazy. It started strong. But by the third or fourth entry, they're like, oh, fuck, now what do we do? Like, we wrote ourselves into a corner with this shit. They even had a whole episode, like the post-apocalyptic one, where Stan was riding a motorcycle with a hook hand, right?
right.
Back to the butthole.
The Allison just like, I realized that was a solid
I
15
didn't
minutes
know.
behind in the stream. That's embarrassing.
That's not true either, because you order Papa John's.
Can't stay away from
I-
IG Instagram?
Chelsea.
I ate corn dogs
Can't stay away from
I
it.
know, I'm
The
just kidding.
buttholes.
And when Chelsea got there, she was hungry.
Right, but you said
So I said,
clearly
Like,
said
why is
you were
everyone
alone.
talking about American?
When I ate the corn dogs, yeah.
Okay, well, you know what
I love
remember
the weekend
specifically texting
episode.
Chelsea,
Listen,
So much.
if the fucking American Dad people, all of the people involved or whoever has the power can put out an album like the Simpsons did. Give me Simpsons Sing the Blues or any of those fucking albums they put out, even Latter-day that had like the Canyon Arrow song. I would buy a fucking American Dad album and maybe even up to 5.
We hit the corn dogs.
Did we?
Yeah, go back a couple seconds so we can
Shit,
hear
dog.
it again.
I'm sorry, I was talking about American
Buttholes.
Dad and Boys to Men related songs. Let's back it up just a hair. Here come the corn dogs, everybody. I know you've been waiting. Here we go.
I ate corn dogs earlier in the evening. And when Chelsea got there, she was hungry.
Right, but you said
So I said,
clearly said
yeah.
you were alone.
When I ate the corn dogs, yeah.
Okay, well, you know what I'm
I
saying.
remember specifically texting Chelsea, I'm eating corn dogs.
Can he verify the corn dogs? Let's find out.
Confetti.
Keep a sharp ear open. Hold that. Well, the confetti is nice. The sirens are nice. But let's see if we can confirm this.
Cool.
And all that's on your phone.
No.
Damn it.
Balls.
There's no evidence of the corn dogs, guys.
I'm eating corn dogs, says Bartnick.
I'm eating corn dogs. That's how he's like. He wasn't on the computer, right? Because he was using his thumbs. If you were texting, you'd see this, which we did. If you
Yes.
were on a computer, he would have been like, I'm eating corn dogs. Of course, you're Bob's Burgers fans.
Yes.
Why would
So-
you delete all that?
I'm so glad I could be
Just
here
a
on this
conversation with
beautiful
you
night
and
with you
Chelsea.
guys, the Wheelers and the Indian.
You would delete about I'm having corn dogs?
Oh my God.
That text might be on there.
Okay.
But once we got to talking about, me
Things that weren't corn dogs, the conversation kind of died. I don't know what happened.
going up to Bonefish and everything like
Yeah,
that, Chelsea said,
Those sticks left over.
don't involve me.
Does Chelsea believe you?
About the corn dogs? She believe you ate those corn dogs? You show a picture of them
did
corn
you
dogs?
save one for her?
We saw that dick pic. You show a dog pic?
Detective, show me how you eat a corn dog. Lee, I bet you never had a corn dog in your life, you fucking liar.
I don't know.
Okay.
Sir, where are the sticks?
You get those Foster Farms chicken corn dogs? Fucking gross.
Just so you know, Chelsea thinks you're bullshit.
Where are those
'Cause
sticks?
we've talked to a lot
Yeah.
of people. So And
Right, you don't think about that, right? The obvious evidence of a corn dog would be a popsicle stick with a little bit of cornmeal somewhere around the center. Huh?
I mean, that's about the gist of, Chelsea.
I can't read
attitude
Riot's comments
towards
out
me,
loud.
for the most part, for the past months.
Okay.
Ever since me and Savannah
Is that because
first.
you're alive?
Yeah, my corn dog face. Yeah, you see me, you catch me outside. If you classic catch me outside, and I'm outside at the Arizona State Fair, there are corn dogs. You better believe that's my old
Her?
face.
I mean, to her, like in the
I mean-
past.
I know where he hid them.
That's pretty much what she
You might need a
labels me as.
colonoscopy.
Do you
because
do you
I-
lie?
Not about, no. I mean, obviously I lied to her about
Okay.
hanging out with.
Where are the sticks? If the stick doesn't, I don't know how you say that. If the glove doesn't fit, you had to acquit OJ. But if the stick wasn't stuck, you got to get fucked. That seems unprofessional for a courtroom.
Kind of.
That was Savannah and stuff.
And you
like
like-
Imagine his like low rent like Wish version of Johnny Cochran and be like, if the stick ain't stuck, you gotta get fucked. And they're like, hey. And Lee's like, yeah, what the fuck? I didn't have the sticks because the corn dogs were alive. He's like, oh fuck.
to me about okay. So I mean, I'm not trying to say anything.
No, I understand.
That's way Rodarte down. Way Rodarte down.
I'm just laying out facts here. I want to find this girl.
Yeah, Lee is gonna smuggle in somewhere between 1 and 247 corn dog sticks so he can have a ready-made hobby when he gets to prison.
There you go.
Building corn dog scented log cabins. Everybody needs a hobby.
I need to find her.
I understand.
And here's a couple reasons.
If the stick ain't free, jail time for Lee. Every corn dog stick we found in your domicile was planted firmly in a dog wrapped in cornmeal, Lee. What do we do about that?
I need to find her. One is I'm hoping that she,
Oh, if the stick doesn't appear, the dog is in the rear.
Is in his rear.
But then hypothetically, you'd see the stick, much like a furry foxtail with those grossos.
she's still alive.
Fuck that. He's
and
gonna
that's
fashion
really-
an
I-
escape ladder like a cartoon villain.
Where's he going to get all the dental floss, right? He doesn't have any commissary yet. No one's put any money in his account. He doesn't have a job, so he's not making that sweet 13 cents a day stamping out license plates. Maybe he'll pull like a Shawshank Redemption where like behind the poster was the hole that he got through. Maybe he'll just keep, and he used the rock hammer, obviously. Maybe he'll just keep the corn dog stick log cabin until he can fashion enough string and dental floss or whatever to make. But here's the thing. A ladder this wide ain't going to help Lee.
No.
I
We
really
need a
do- I'm
corn dog
holding out
stick
for that.
creation competition. Hey,
I like the Acme hole. Oh. Why don't people use those? They're so useful. You just unfold them, throw them on the ground, you toss whatever you want in there, and you throw the hole away.
And if she's not alive, then I think she and her family are due that knowledge. I think
Closure.
I think they need some closure, because I think the reality is if somebody's dead somewhere, a parent would want it.
P.S. I can't think of a single cartoon villain who escaped jail by fashioning a rope ladder out of corn dog sticks they smuggled into jail via their butthole, right?
yeah.
I missed that episode of Bullwinkle where Snidely Whiplash gets put away.
It reminds me of how painfully blatantly the Waukesha defense had to prove Daryl did it. Like the defense has a 20 by 20 of a poster with a corn dog on a stick with the words eaten and uneaten above it.
Yeah, could you imagine they having to like rip Lee from the courtroom because he's pulling his shirt off and he's like holding up an objection folder?
I know. I think if do you have kids?
No.
Okay.
Corn dog jection.
So one day when you have kids, the uncertainty is.
But you're in jail
is
for 40 years, so
whatever kind of a person she is, and I'm not about to say what kind of a person she is, because I'm not making any judgments. I'm saying that this human being is, if she's alive, then I want to find her. I need to make sure she's okay, because several days now she hasn't been around. Things happen to the human body, and people can't stand a lot of things that can.
You guys understand that things happen to the human body, right? Like it doesn't exist in a vacuum. It isn't immune to entropy or any of the ravages of time. After a couple days, there's going to be a couple more days of wear and tear on that body. And I think you know that, Lee. You're a smart man. You got a freezer full of corn dogs at home.
So they don't know where she is at
the
this
other thing-
moment?
No, I
She's
think
just like a missing person?
I don't remember the details of like beyond this, but I think after his breakdown and confession, he like led them to her, I want to say.
Oh.
Cause yeah, she was missing. And like, that's the thing. His story will eventually change again to like, she came to my house, we got high, and she took an Uber home. So the green truck and the mystery man, not even a thing. With a dead body, Lee, sometimes butt farts. Imagine like Lee, because he's like seems like a lazy dude. After he strangles Savannah in his like living room and he goes to bed for the night, you think he was woken up every once in a while from like the errant like dead body fart? Do you think those happen in like they have to like in a mortuary, right?
Oh, I imagine.
All
Before
that gut
they do the
bacteria
whole
is still
thing, yeah.
alive. How many like? Imagine being the new guy at a mortuary and being like left alone by your superior. Like, I'll see you in the morning. Just make sure none of these bodies get stolen. He's like, I'm just kidding. That never happens. But then as soon as he slams the door and silence reigns, you just hear like the telltale
The
fart.
thing is, if she's not,
It's the beating of the hideous fart.
this family deserves better than this. This family deserves better than
Like when Monty Burns was on the that ripoff of Howard Stern, and he kept playing those fart noises, and he's like, "Stop the farting," just like that.
and somebody who works with her and who's got knowledge and won't tell the police because they're worried about their own ass.
The butt
Because
fart.
that's pretty cheap. I'm gonna be honest with you. And
I agree.
your feelings in it, I don't really care about your feelings. What I care about is finding her. So where is she?
I don't know where she is.
Where is Savannah?
I don't know.
I need to know where Savannah is.
Okay. Something just happened that is going to clue you in on what is to come. She is getting visibly agitated now. She is going to put on a performance very soon, and she is starting to gear up with the wiping of the face, and she's becoming very agitated. So get ready. Zombies have to fart, because here's the thing. Mechanically, a zombie, like let's say the human element of the human is dead, right? There is like a third to, I don't know what by weight or by cell count or whatever, but a lot of the cells and organic material in your body is exclusively not you. So I have to imagine that something in there would stay, because bacteria lives everywhere. And in a rotting corpse walking around, sure, they're probably farting 24/7. P.S. There's an Australian zombie movie, which was great, where the zombies are like all gas, like two things happen at once. Gas no longer works. It's inflammable. So that's how the movie starts. Like this guy in the backwoods of Australia, maybe it was New Zealand, I don't remember the movie exactly, but gas doesn't work. Tries lighting a match, it won't light, can't start his car, nothing. But there are also zombies. And the thing that he discovers, the main character discovers, is like they're constantly burping and farting.
Ethanol?
Not ethanol, but like a burnable fuel source that is combustive. So he puts like 6 or 8 of them in a bamboo cage in the back of his truck, all with like CPAP mask. So they're constantly burping these gases into his. So it's like when you see a like a municipal vehicle or a trash truck or whatever, it's like, we run on clean natural gas. That was him.
Is
I
can
don't
let her
know
family
where
know.
she is.
You don't know because you had something done with her and you weren't.
Right. You guys see that movie like Black Sheep? Like in New Zealand, there's like 6 sheep for every person or wherever, I think. I think that's New Zealand. And yeah, they made a sheep-related horror movie. Australians do some crazy stuff, but they're on the other side of the world, so I can't judge.
Involved in that part? I don't know. Tell me something. What can I work with?
I told you the last time we saw.
Where did they get the CPAP mask? I don't know. That's the thing.
We have proof.
I had a little bit of suspension of my disbelief because on the one hand, gas didn't work, and I was like, what? And on the other hand, there was zombies, and I was like, am I really going to question where he's getting these CPAP masks at this point?
Right.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
probably not.
Like when you step into a puddle and you sink into the ankle and you can feel it moving up your shin, you realize I'm probably going up to my trunk.
And that's why we're sitting here, Lee. At this point, we need this for her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I look at that little girl and I think of my little girl who's her age.
I know you can't see her face, but by her voice and body movements and everything, like her actions alone, how does she feel age-wise?
Not
'Cause
old enough to
Savannah
have
was-
a 20-something-year-old.
Yeah, I think Savannah was like 20 maybe?
Yeah, she does
So-
not look like she would be 40
Right.
from
and,
her back.
And here's the thing, like I would have to have had a kid 20 years ago. But then like, what? I don't know, bummer.
That's what. That was my little girl.
Check that
I
wiki.
don't care what she said about you or whatever, but my little girl is that age.
Maybe
And you're not telling the truth.
Maybe something gets out of hand in the car.
I didn't do anything.
Okay, you didn't do
Okay,
anything, but she
okay.
was in your car. She never got out of your car.
Never got out of your car, Lee.
God, the
She never
video
got out of
discrepancy
your
is
car.
like
Lee?
It's
We're
strange.
not saying that you did anything. I'm trying to find her.
They love saying that. Even though they're heavily implying and you should be inferring that we think you're the murderer. He's like, I'm not explicitly saying that you're a murderer.
I didn't say you
I
did
don't know
anything.
where she is.
Well, we can prove that you left with her in the car.
It's true.
So please, do everybody
this.
a favor and just tell us.
Doesn't it seem like a little extreme to say two bland white bread statements to Lee during the 43 minutes? Oh, she asks a single question and then makes a comment 20 minutes apart. And now all of a sudden she's like, God damn it, Lee. We know that you didn't. Oh my God.
I'm so done with this.
Chill,
We're-
bitch. Like, build some
You got to
rapport.
be able to separate. We're not sitting here saying you did anything to her. I don't know. She's on
Catherine
drugs.
Reed,
Maybe
no
she-
shit.
She passed. I don't know.
I'm sure you have, Mr. Rodarte.
I'm not in that car with you guys.
Lee likes to give pleasure and receive pleasure.
I know that she's in that car with you. I have proof of all of this.
Okay, let me ask you, Lee. Then tell us now if you're being an honest
Sure you
man.
have, Lee.
Are you being honest?
Yes.
Okay,
Are you
let's
being
start
honest?
I'm being honest. I brought the razor. I was going to shave her down there.
She never got out of your back seat, Lee. She never got out of your back seat. Video cameras don't lie.
Lee.
How do you know? How do you?
Clunky as fuck, right? Like, I would have played this a slow hand to be like, okay, now that that story is set in stone, we have blah, 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 blah. It feels kind of shitty for her to just like go from a 1 to an 11, like a hysterical mom who lost her 3-year-old in a shopping mall, to be like, oh, hey, we got
How do you think
camera
I know?
footage.
Why, Steven?
Why, Steven? Lee, the hair is there, Lee. The hair is there.
This
I think it's like when your
information,
dad puts up with your screaming for half an hour, then pops off and starts dropping F's and S's when he can't take no more.
I get that, right? Because you want to play the slow hand and like have a grand reveal and feel that. And I get sometimes you just want to like drop the cards and be like, no, this is fucked and the game is over. Go to your fucking room. But he's not a fucking kid and they're not his fucking parents. So they shouldn't be like, come on, Lee. Like the first mention of the video footage that they definitely have was right here.
Right.
He has no time to integrate that into his being and become afraid of that. She goes, video doesn't lie, Lee. And he's like, what? No one's mentioned video
Yeah, what are you
yet.
talking about? The worst part is that the corn dog salesman told him he wouldn't be under arrest.
Right, because he showed up and he's like, hey, good news. Chris Corndogson
I wasn't there,
said I wouldn't be going to jail tonight. He lied to me.
but a video camera caught it.
Tell me what happened.
I don't know.
What?
Check it out. She said a lot of shit, and I'm still playing it close to the vest. Let's like meet in the middle. Lee, in that parking lot, fuck ton of cameras, and we caught you. That's where we're at. Like, I'm saying jack shit, and she's saying the extreme opposite of that. In the middle of that is there are cameras in the parking lot, and we caught you. Would you like to explain? That's not how it happens. We got the footage, Lee. I don't know. Can you just tell us what happened, Lee? We're trying to get.
What happened to her?
He's totally
Was it
retarded.
an overdose? Is that what happened? I don't know. I'm not in the car with you guys. You just said she was in your car and she had admittedly had done heroin. Bodies overdose all the time. Is that
Admitted by you.
what happened?
P.S. Bodies overdose all the time? Came across a body and it overdosed. Chucked it into the dumpster.
Does she overdose?
Okay, well, tell us when you left with her in the car, because that is what is shown. We can't make up that. We can't falsify a video camera lead.
I don't know what you're fucking talking about, bitch. We went from a 1 to an 11 without seeing Stonehenge, without seeing Sniff the Glove, without seeing any of the rest of the Spinal Tap movie. You need to turn that volume knob up slowly.
It's all wrong on Lee's part, but those corn dogs let him on a little bit too, so I understand it in both ways.
He was talking to him and he's like looking at it.
I'm not lying to you because you know I'm telling the truth because you know that's what's on the video.
Bitch,
How
you
else
haven't
would I
talked
know
at
that?
all.
I don't.
Until
Unless
now.
I have the video. Where did you go with her?
This is like when you're in a book club, right? And everybody read the book, but you didn't. And this bitch is like, let's jump to page 478 and talk about when Heathcliff and what's her face did the thing. And you're like, huh?
I didn't go anywhere with
Lee didn't even read the Cliff's Notes or read or watch the made-for-TV movie.
No.
You did. So the video camera's lying?
I don't know this. I mean,
Well, I'm telling you.
Right, I don't know this. What the fuck are you fucking talking about?
Who are you, lady?
Not only that, but like, here's the thing. Cops can lie, and if you're going to lie, you're going to do something stupid like this. You're going to pull a card that's like, what about the cameras?
Yeah.
If it's true, you're going to pay that out and make them really sweat it. That's what I'm saying. These people, she feels new and he feels new, but she's coming at it like both barrels, and he's like, whoa, you know what? Like, I understand you love heroin. I get that. I'm cool with that. We have to, where are we?
Thomas says, this is the difference between Lee and I. I'd have asked for a lawyer 2 hours ago and told him the sugar in the corn dog lulled me into a kill crazy Frank frenzy.
Oh, so you're pulling the Twinkie defense, Thomas? This is bullshit. Stephanie Corn Doganata. That's Lady Corn Gaga.
Oh, Jesus.
Corn Daga. That's better.
I'm telling you, I'm not
Use that second one. Lady Corn Daga.
lying to you. I'm not making that up.
She features heavily on the Wipe That Audio label. Not for nothing.
That's why I'm so
It's a big get.
passionate about this. This is someone's child. You might not have kids, but damn it, she's someone's kid.
God
Damn it.
Damn it,
I've
Lee.
got kids. I've seen the video. Damn it, Lee. Where is she? She never went out of the car.
Mom with stage 4 cancer. All she wants to know is where her daughter is. But I have this man sitting over here, a 28-year-old man, that first says, you haven't seen her. You didn't see her that day. So now the roles have reversed a little bit.
I wouldn't say reverse. Like, if he was
No.
like, I didn't see her, a role reversal would be like, she saw me, but I didn't see her. And then
Right.
you wouldn't know that.
It was just the
'Cause
story
we've been doing
changed.
our background, okay? And now you're saying that she was sitting in your car, which all lines up with the video, actually. I'm glad that
She does sound a little bit like Hillhauser. She's like, hey, so Lee, you're a murderer? Tell me how you killed Savannah. That's a wonderful part of Florida's gold.
you said you got in the back seat with her. All that lines up.
We're here on the California Interstate on ZXYXX Road, Zizix Road, and that's a wonderful part of California's gold. I love Hillhauser.
Doesn't line up. That passenger door comes open, shuts, comes open,
Like Wemets,
shuts.
David?
And you get out of the car. When you drive off, she never gets out of that car.
You ever see a pretty girl walking down the street, Lee, and go, that looks good? You never say that to yourself, Lee? Leaving?
And that's not right with
Live
her.
Leaving
Why?
Mick Rodarte?
We're fact
Darty.
finders. We don't have anything personal against you.
No, not at all. I mean, it's
We're
over.
just fact finders.
tell us
We're
what
just
happened.
doing
Where
our
is she?
job.
We're gonna talk over each other because that's
No,
what good police officers
no.
do.
Where did you go with her? Where did you go with her, Lee? Be human. You're a human. You're a man. Where did you go with her? I know you're not that cruel inside.
Have you seen that meme? I think Matt Willis put it in our Discord, but like where the fat detective is like, normal and then way like back and then way back. And then like he's practically upside down is fucking hilarious. He went to Jared's, of course he did.
Yeah. You have to see the
Seriously?
Kielhauser with the avocado picking dog sometime. He loses his mind with delight.
He lost his mind with delight at everything he ever saw. I wish I could be more like Kielhauser, just a tall country bumpkin who was like, wow, a road, or like saltwater taffy, or like, here's a tree that's super old. Like, he fucking loves everything in California.
Lee, where did you go with her?
Maybe you
Please.
maybe you don't know where she is now. Where did you go with her?
Please.
I
I'm
don't
begging
like her.
you, Lee.
I know, she
Please.
sucks. He did go to Jared's, though. He took the body to Jared's.
Please tell us.
It's like she's
don't
acting
make us
like
waste
she
any more of our
was a
time.
failed actress and then turned police officer.
Right. It does feel like she majored in drama
Yeah.
in college, but minored in criminal
Criminal justice. Yeah, she's like, yeah, maybe I should have done the opposite, but this is fine.
And P.S. Thomas, please join our Discord and put that meme in there if you have it. I fucking love Stephen McDaniel's memes.
Just tell us. Please tell us.
Just tell us.
You're a
I'm begging
human,
you. I know
Lee.
you're not evil. Just tell us where she is.
Like, to go from like two completely detached question and statements to be like, God damn it, Lee. Like, on a dime, the turn, right? No, she took no part in the rapport building, the fact finding, jack shit. And so she's going to come in hard and heavy at like minute 45 and be like, yeah, Lee, why? Like, there's no basis for this. It feels like soap tires on a wet road.
I'm begging you. Please. Please.
Yeah, the community theater person is a little too far. Like, she was definitely in like a local community version of like Oklahoma, and like it went to her head. Now she's like, I can pull this acting ability into the interrogation room. Doesn't work so great.
Can you please just tell me?
Oh, come on. I'll be your friend. Oh, you're mean.
Is that how
You're
you
a
want
meanie.
people to think? I know you're not an evil person. I don't
Do you?
see that in you.
Yeah, most 28-year-olds who look like 47-year-olds who murder people don't look evil.
No.
I don't see that in your history. I don't hear those things about you at work.
Dude, did you look up his fucking history? Everyone in his family is rotting in jail. It's like when you have a family history of colon cancer or something. You go, well, hey, you're healthy, and I looked into your background. Not a single person died of butthole disease. Except they all did. You're a liar.
Please tell us where you.
Yeah, you definitely got to put your clothes in the dryer right away after washing. Vardnik, you are right.
Yes.
TCAP, for all their faults and all the things you can point at them and go like, that was a little unethical. If you don't get that wet load into the dryer and like soon,
It's fucked.
it's fucked and the problem is all yours. And you're in for another wash cycle. Just accept it. Don't even try. Just do it again.
Where you went with her.
Do you think she used this
Never got
interrogation
far.
transcript as a monologue for an audition? 100%. Her
Oh,
arm,
she
her arms.
probably brought this from somewhere as
Yeah.
an audition to the interrogation room. I don't think it was swapped. She probably saw like some off Broadway thing that was like true crime or crime related. And she's like, yeah, I'm going to use that, except I'm going to use Lee's name in it.
Please tell us, Lee. Please. I'm begging you. For her family.
It's like when, I don't remember the movie that this is ripping off, but like when Third Rock from the Sun, I think Dick hit a squirrel and had to take it into a vet and was overly invested in the squirrel, right? Because it was injured and it was on like life support and needed pain medication and stuff. And he basically plays out a classic movie scene where he's like screaming about how his squirrel needs a shot. And I think it's from Terms of Endearment or something, but it's like a classic, like what Airplane was to Airport, whatever the movie it was based on, like a full-blown parody, and it was hilarious. Give my chipmunk the shot! It was a chipmunk, not a squirrel.
Please. She didn't get out of your car.
It's reverse
And you know
day.
that, obviously.
You know, it never works. Like, oh, gotcha, it's opposite day. And he's like, damn it. Airplane is hilarious. Back when like parody was parody and not just merely reference. I don't want to get into it.
I don't know.
You too,
Look,
Dad.
I
Please,
know.
Lee, just please don't make us do this any longer.
I need to pick up my 20-year-old kid.
For her family. Just tell.
This one, the detective, and also for Savannah, but mostly for her. She's fucking annoying, am I right?
Can you just tell us?
Where did you go?
Where did you go with her then? Can you?
At least tell us that.
Here comes the story. So he's going to pivot and eventually be like, yeah, we went to my place and did the heroin.
At least tell us that part. Where did you go with her afterwards? She didn't get out of your car, and you know that obviously.
Yeah,
'cause I know
we
that.
did.
That's why we're
Oh,
looking for
babe.
you. Just tell us where. Where did you go with her? Tell us that. At least point us in that direction. I owe her family. We've been. No one's. We're not saying anything that you intentionally did anything. Just tell us where you went.
Intentional, not intentional. There was no malicious content. He said that.
Please.
Please.
Lee, it's not.
You're doing
right.
great. I mean, you told you.
You were
You're
doing
doing
great.
great.
You lied to us the first time you talked to us. You've been lying up until now, but you're doing great, dude. Like, fucking kick that shit into high
You already
gear.
told us everything we already know.
Oh, the Girl Scouts fighting in the bar. Yes. Holy
It's not
shit.
right, Lee.
She's 1 second away from being like, Lee, please, our boss told us we're not getting any more stickers unless we solve at least one crime. Please, Lee.
And my notebook is in desperate need of a scratch and sniff grape, so can you just give us a fucking break, dude?
No one should have to go through this.
Never get out of your car.
I'm just human like you are. She's human. Her family. Everybody has feelings.
This detective, the male detective, he's a human.
Mm-hmm.
Please. Now's the time to tell us because
Classic Grand Amato. Now's the time. Now is the exact.
We should have
Time.
done bingo for this.
Lee, right after he killed Savannah, went into a Publix and used their Wi-Fi.
I don't think you're any kind of evil person. And I feel like you are going to tell us the truth. I do believe that. I do believe you're going to tell us the truth because I believe that you do have a conscience.
In a thing called love. Just listen to the rhythm of your heart. Come on, guys. They'll be rocking till the sun goes down, if you know what I mean.
You know that
Now's
song,
the
but you
time.
don't know Foxtrot.
Who
Unicorn.
doesn't know the darkness?
Who
Hello?
doesn't know the Bloodhound Gang?
I know the Bloodhound Gang. Again, hooray for boobies. I love that album. Didn't know any of their other shit. But the darkness and their song, like, was everywhere. Like, I was working at Petco at the time. Like, it was so strong. I remember exactly where and when I was in time and space. I remember the radio, the craggly little one speaker shitty radio in the back behind the reptiles where I'd have to get the crickets. And 7 out of 10 times when I went back there to get crickets, I would hear the darkness. I would never, ever, ever, ever hear Foxtrot Uniform Kilo or Charlie Kilo. Never. Because it spelled fuck and you couldn't play that.
Working at Petco, eating crickets.
Yeah, I'd stick my hand in there like I was one of those goosebump monsters from like the one who worked at the library, and I would just toss them back like they were Cheetos. Sprinkle a little Lucas salt on them. Delicious.
She's a Hallmark movie. Yeah, she
Just
is.
That's all
terrible.
we're asking. Just where'd you guys go?
Just give us the third story, Lee. Come on.
I think you're a good man. I think you want to do the right thing.
I think you're a good dude. You're a great guy.
You're
You're a
amazing.
cool
We've been
dude.
here for 42 minutes.
Your face looks cool. Your hair is awesome. Your mustache is nicely trimmed. Your face, gives an air of 60.
When y'all left out of there, you went down Clare Lane, you made a left on San Jose, about to 295, and you get up on 295. Okay.
If you're ever, here's the thing, if you're ever in Lee's situation, you forgot to ask for a lawyer an hour ago,
Yeah.
and they start just talking and saying incriminating details of the thing you did, do your very fucking best not to nod continuously throughout all of that damning evidence,
Yeah,
right?
Doesn't help.
It's an air of corn dogs.
Air of corn dogs.
Yeah, sometimes I'd pull the stick out, obviously, because you got to remove the stick first. Like, remove the first inch of corn, pop that dog out, fill that shit with crickets,
Delicious.
throw the top back on, sprinkle a little calcium powder on there. A meal fit for a leopard gecko.
Where else did you go before you went home? I mean, I know you eventually went home,
I
but
didn't go anywhere. I went straight home.
I went to Publix, used their Wi-Fi.
Savannah was with you.
Oh, yeah, it was
She
great.
was with you. And that's okay at that point, but I need to know
No.
where did she go from there? Is she still at your house?
No.
Okay. Is she still in your car?
No.
Okay. Well, then, where is she?
I don't
Lee,
know where she is.
Okay, then where did you last drop her off at?
I didn't drop her off.
Okay, well then tell me.
What happened? Where'd you guys go?
We went to my house.
Mhm.
We did some drugs.
Okay.
Hung out for a little. And then she said she was going to catch an Uber home.
Here's what I don't believe, right? Every cop who says, I'm not the dope police, or whatever the variation of that is, like however they imply that they personally don't care about it, how much drugs or whatever other crimes you did, because they're very focused on, in this case, the death of Savannah Gold. You'd better fucking believe that there is someone in that station who cares a lot about that and will definitely rack you in the nuts with those charges.
Oh, yeah.
Because why wouldn't you? We're a petty species, and if we can take Lee and his one act of possible criminal manslaughter all the way up to possible first-degree murder, allegedly, whatever, yada, yada, yada. I mean, you see what I'm saying here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They're always going to add that shit on.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, even if you're just jaywalking, that the officer who writes you the ticket is going to be racking his fucking brains to at least up the charge from just one. There's no way you ever do anything and they go, well, you've got one charge of blah.
Yeah. No, it's like 87 charges.
How do you plead?
Detective Lee, listen.
And did she
I
call
know
you?
we know you killed her, but tell us this. Do you guys use a steel grill or a wood grill at Bonefish? Wood? Goddamn. Tracy, we're going there after work. Goddamn.
That ain't no joke, right? Like, here's the thing. Even though, not to, go on this tangent, however, even heating works well in a lot of different scenarios. However, the rustic and uneven finished product that fire can deliver is often more enjoyable because a uniform experience can feel bland. Homogenized, pasteurized orange juice. We've all had the Donald Duck or whatever, the Simply, anything that you've ever drank orange juice in any company or whatever. It's been pasteurized and homogenized and probably thrown in a silo for 40 years. Mm-hmm. But if you ever squeezed in a batch of oranges yourself and drank it, you realize there's a wild variation of flavor and texture.
Yes.
That's what life is. Sometimes cook shit over fire. Throw some pineapple on that fucking pizza, Ryan. God damn.
She pulled her phone out. Looked like she was using it. I wasn't hovering over her.
She looked like she was using it. She kept swiping her finger over the screen. Maybe it was nothing. I don't know. I'm not a detective.
I was pretty high. I mean, I wasn't. She told me she was leaving.
What does a heroin high feel like? P.S. If you know why junkies need sugar in SVU, Let me know.
She walked out the door.
They
'Cause
always need sugar. Is it because they're crashing? They need
Yeah.
quick energy? That's stupid. That's fucking stupid. They always like throw orange juice or sugar packets or they made that one guy, what was it? The guy who was leaving the riddles, right? And they left the clue with like that junkie.
Yeah, and they put
like,
a whole bunch of chocolate in his
Olivia,
mouth.
No, Olivia's like, oh, I've had half a chocolate bar. P.S. Who's throwing away half a Snickers? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And two, like, what the fuck is that gonna do? He's coming down off of heroin. But like, oh, a Snickers. Like, he's not Danny DeVito in a fucking, or not Danny DeVito. He's not Joe Pesci in a Snickers commercial. It's a junkie on heroin.
Yeah, they don't want them to pass out from being high, so they give them the sugar to spike their blood sugar.
Life is like a bag of oranges.
Life is like a bag of oranges.
What was going on in the back seat? For the doors to be kicked open. She kicked open that door 3 times, Lee. She kicked it. We saw it. And you know I'm not making it up because I...
Kicking a house door open, I buy. Kicking a car door open, I don't, because those need to be activated mechanically by a latch.
wouldn't know this because I wasn't there. I would never know this unless we had video of it, correct? Yes, correct. I'm not trying to trick you.
I won't let you answer the
I'm
question.
just a fact finder.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bullshit.
That door kicked over 3 times. Obviously something went on in that back seat. Tell me about that.
What's there to tell?
Back seat. Did she get mad at you?
I mean, we've gotten arguments plenty of
Another big cut. God knows what was said there.
times where she says she doesn't care what happens or
Okay, I wanted to talk about that really quick because this is bizarre. We've seen a country mile of Florida footage because they have like the laxest regulations regarding this shit. So the fact that Lee has huge excerpts of this shit just redacted and it's never surfaced, at least to my knowledge, in the public or common public eye, feels weird, especially now that he's been sentenced and it hasn't surfaced.
Right.
anything
Yeah.
like that.
But let's be honest. No one's
I'm
going to
being honest.
with some man willingly after all that. No one's going to do it.
Yeah, she was like, "Hey, I can't," because like it's like Red Lobster, right? In the commercials, it's just a bunch of like fishermen whizzing their lines out, and as soon as they grab something, it flies from the water, becomes disengaged from the hook, and flies into a local Red Lobster. It must have been a huge, it's a gut punch when you go there and you're like, "Whoa, everything's frozen," and you just put it through a pizza oven and. Lee's not really a chef. He's just a guy in a slightly different shirt. Yikes.
Please tell me where Savannah is. You do know. You do
Definitely
know.
does.
And right now is the time. You're so close. and
Now's
I
the
know-
time.
Listen to Grand
I know you're
Amato
gonna
inside
tell me.
you all.
It's the exact
I
time.
know you are because
What am I?
I just know you.
I've had a great career. She's had a great career. We both had great careers. Now, please help us. Now is the time, the exact right time.
are.
He's not a chef. He's
Because
a
I know
meat
you want to do
eater.
the right thing.
Right? And that's the thing. Like, Allison knows. She worked at Olive Garden. How do you call yourself a chef at any corporate-owned restaurant?
Right.
If what you do is take bags and or frozen, like Stouffer's meals and just throw them through a pizza oven, sure, they'll say, we send our chefs to Italy and they learn the Tuscan secrets or whatever, but that doesn't make it into the fucking bag that you're eating out of, you sloppy fucking garbage pigs.
Thing, but you're scared to do the right thing. I get it.
Yeah.
I do. I'm not.
Can you just tell me what I'm being charged with, please?
Yes.
Yes.
I would know.
I don't know yet, but at least I do know that you have the KPS out for your arrest for the DWLS.
We found that.
For the what?
The DWLS, I think. Yeah.
No.
But where's Savannah?
So what am I being charged with now?
I-
Driving while suspended license?
Bags. The Tuscan
I don't know
secret.
yet. I gotta talk to the attorney.
Hey, you see like an Italian guy with a nice little greased, like heavily waxed, rather curly mustache, and he's like your classic little 4'8" Italian guy, and he's like mangia, and like all the Italian or not Italian, but Olive Garden chefs show up in Tuscany, and he's like Mamma Mia, and he just like opens up this huge armoire, and it's just like like in action movies when they open up the secret. Like the Punisher Warzone did this really well with Wayne Knight. Open up that secret room, it's full of guns and ammo and all sorts of weapons and explosives and shit. Like that Tuscan chef is like, voila! And it's just like grocery store racks with bags of frozen pasta and sauce. And he's like, the secret to Mamma Mia. And then his hat falls off and he's like, not Italian. Just a guy from like Montana. And he's like, oh shit! His mustache falls off. That's the Olive Garden.
That's sitting out there watching
Like a mama.
Where's Savannah?
Flavor computers.
So you're gonna make me and our team and this whole entire sheriff's office and
The sundial guy from Hercules. You might have to unpack that for me.
every
The
person
Disney
in the
Hercules?
community to get out there after after they know the truth of who she left with.
Are you saying that I gave him top billing? Because, yeah, I would say in this situation, I would say he goes to Wayne Knight. But obviously, that is a Ray Stevenson's vehicle, right? Ray Stevens. Is that his name? Ray Stevens? Ray Stevens.
I have no idea what
Punisher
you're talking about.
Warzone was so great because Ray Stevens was also in Rome. He's a fucking great actor. Like, he's no, like, glitz and, like, slick, like the Thomas Jane Punisher, where he fights the Russian played by Kevin Nash, who incidentally also played the Super Shredder in Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze. But, like, Ray Stevens versus those, like, parkour dudes. Stevenson, okay. Ray Stevenson. Great. Fucking, yeah, you're right. He kills it in that movie. He passed away? No. He was such a... I mean, everybody has to die, obviously, so I'm sad. But I knew it was inevitable, as we all do. But great in Rome, great in Punisher Warzone. I think he was even one of Thor's bros in, like, the first Thor movie, I think. So good. Oh, my God. When he destroys those Jamaican parkour dudes with, like, an RPG... What are the... So great. So great.
And sees the struggle in the backseat of your car. And you're going to make all of us...
I didn't know he was in that. I don't watch Star Wars, so I won't watch that. But it's nice to know that he was working right up until the end.
Go and search
it's Fat
Jacksonville for her. And you
Oh, that guy. I had to look him up because I wasn't sure
So
who he
good.
was.
Oh, my God. Like, Ray Stevenson is one of those dudes where, like... I don't know shit about him. Just what I've seen of him in the movies. He feels like one of those dudes that, like, if you ran into him in a bar rather, and you weren't a weirdo, he would probably just hang out with you and it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Punisher Warzone was fucking awesome, and Teenage Mutant Ninja 2 did not suck. 3 sucked. 2 was a solid 6.5 or 7.
Is that what...
Oh, speaking of Warzone, like the fucking guy, the Jigsaw, I can't remember his name's Dominic in real life, but the guy who plays Jigsaw, way over the top. The dude who plays his like weird fucking cousin or something who like he breaks out of the insane asylum who eats the fat orderly's liver out of his body. It's insane. I love that movie.
But we're going to put everybody
He died
through.
at 58 years old this year.
Real low-key affair. That's so sad. That
And
sucks.
they didn't disclose what he passed away from on
sad.
anywhere.
It's what you do afterward.
He's like Macho Man Randy Savage. I loved him. Everything I saw him in, he was great in, whether it be wrestling or Spider-Man or his album. Just one of those guys who does like good stuff. He seems like a genuine person, and then he comes across, and it's sad. I'm bummed.
I got a family that needs closure. They're now coming to the reality that she's got
3 wasn't great, Deacon.
I
You
need
fucking
closure for
liar.
them. When stuff gets out that you guys left and all that together and all that stuff.
Sound like he said when Wingstop gets out.
Yeah.
You want
Dozen
people to
wings for
think
$4.99,
you're the
Lee?
guy who said, okay,
Not gonna
look,
last.
I'm going to do the right thing.
Looney Bin Jim, thank you. Yes, they didn't. You can't call him Looney Bin Jim because that'll make him fucking kill you, right? But that's the thing. Like on the scale of like abuse you can receive in like a mental institution, having your fat orderly eat your applesauce in front of you is probably like a 1. But he still ate his liver for it.
Or do you
John
want
read
your
the
family
wrong
and everybody
receipt.
else to think that you're some
Looney
evil,
Bin
heartless
Jim,
person
damn.
who won't tell us where she is? Why would you put your family and her family through all that?
Not to, well, I'm going to do it anyway. If you are a fan of podcasts, and this one's probably hella old at this point, but how did this get made? And it's probably behind a paywall now, but how did this get made? Did an interview with the director, and I can't remember her name, but she was amazing. The fact that she came in and did Punisher Warzone, because she was like, no one. That movie was an insane affair, and that episode was crazy, and it just makes you appreciate the movie even more. It was just like with anything you realize.
Lexi Alexander.
Yes, thank you. She nailed it. Fucking nailed it. Doesn't get the credit she deserves for that movie because I think Punisher Warzone was fucking amazing. For what it was. There was no 12 Angry Men. Obviously, it wasn't anything like, it's no Hitchcock or whatever. But for pre-MCU era comic book movies, fucking awesome. Overacted, yes. Unbelievable at times, sure. Like Detective Soap, who's actually like a mole for the Punisher. You could see that coming from fucking 40 miles away. Still, great movie.
I don't think you're that kind of guy. I don't think you're evil. Something got out of hand. I get it. But what do you do after that? Here's what you do. You do the right thing now. Just tell us where she is. Closure for her family.
Lee, we understand. Listen, we understand.
We're not trying to hinge you up on anything, man. I'm telling you, I'm thinking about it.
I'm not trying to jam you up, but if you fuck with me, I'm going to call the DES, the ICA, the OPP, and the GTAs. And they'll come and rip your books apart.
This girl and her family. And your family.
You're a better gentleman.
She was.
Yeah, Wayne Knight, Newman. And he gets fucking murdered too. Like they kill his fucking dementia-riddled mom, and then like Wayne Knight has the like tenacity and like the fortitude of character to like still help Ray Stevenson as the Punisher, and it gets him nothing more than a bullet to the brain.
Please tell me where to go find her.
Oh yeah, Mindhunter.
Oh, that was such a good show. We still haven't seen the second season.
Is Holt McCallany, is that person the older guy from Mindhunter? Like of the two, there's the John Douglas young guy and the old guy. I fucking love him and all that shit too. I don't know his name, but he is awesome. He's been in so many awesome, like, whoa. He's like a Ray Stevenson of whatever he is. That guy. He's
Yeah.
great. I've seen him in a bunch of stuff, but he's one of those guys who you see everywhere. You don't know his name.
Yeah.
He's like the weird guy who had the parasitic twin in the X-Files episode in the circus. Buggy was his name in that, I think. He's been in a million things. He was in Death to Smoochie. You know him if you saw him, but you don't know his name. And he does fucking banger work.
Yeah, and his younger days, he's a pretty attractive guy.
That's how people remember you.
That's rough. They killed his mom, his dementia-riddled mom.
He's in like 3 Law and Orders.
He must not be in SVU.
I don't think he's in SVU. I don't remember seeing him in
That
SVU.
blonde dude who looks a little bit like him plays 6 characters in one season, but we never got this
You
dude.
work with that. You gotta do the right thing now. You can do this. You can do the right thing.
Anyway, here's a heavily edited chunk, and we're going to leave, and you're going to have a breakdown here alone. Smell you later. Yeah, because, like, what happened between then and now?
Yeah.
He was stonewalling them. They weren't getting shit, and now they're leaving, and he's about to fucking destroy himself emotionally.
Yeah. That Robin Williams one is a good one.
Right, when he does the Milgram experiment.
Yep.
And like that, okay, not for nothing, but the guy he dupes in the beginning of the episode, right, where he says, Detective Milgram called me and I took this employee, I stripped her and I, whatever. That guy, that actor is one of those character actors who, this is where I know him from. There's a Mr. Show sketch with Bob Odenkirk and David Cross about a novelty Halloween song. I think it's called Halloween Shindig or whatever. Dracula's Pajama Party. And David Cross is the writer of the song who's, his character is like, I was at a monster party where Dracula was there and Frankenstein and the mummy and the werewolf and they offered me some punch and he had some cake and all this shit. And so that guy who was duped by Robin Williams' character via Milgram is a professor or something who's like, well, obviously there's no monsters. This is bullshit. And later they cut to him and he's watching the music video for this novelty song a la Bobby Boris Pickett and the Monster Mash. And he's like furiously yanking it with his back to camera. He's a funny actor.
Apparently he was in an SVU episode, Holt. He played dad of a girl who was R'd by military contractors and he sexually the owner of the military. Was that like a newer?
Oh, I guess we're done with that. Weird.
Doopy.
What? Quiet, Doopy. Wow, I can't believe that's how we lived.
It was just the end of that. We didn't get to see his breakdown.
I guess not. So here's the thing. This is from Interrogations, the YouTube channel, so I don't know what they were able to get their hands on. But yeah, I guess that's it. That's Rodarte. We're not going to see his breakdown, but that's it. He is done. Steelers and the Ravens. Steelers and the Ravens. Right, I'm sorry. We're not going to see him break down, but I guess that's the end of that footage. But that's the if you want to dive into this, you can, because there's a lot to get into. You see his breakdown. He cries. He says the thing that what's her name said. He's like, you're a human, Lee, and all this other stuff. We could probably skip over the gut-wrenching humanity of it all. But that's right, yeah, you don't get to see the part where he gets to see, because he looks at himself and he sort of cleans his uniform off and he's like, this is the last time I get to wear this and shit. And it's sad. It's really sad. So I'm kind of glad that didn't make it in, because it's it's one of those ones where it's Ambrosio's interaction with Chris. It's hyper depressing where the interrogation isn't that bad. When you see
the realization in your head.
Yeah, when you see someone like Lee, no matter how shitty he is, and you have that, you see a human going through the realization of their life crumbling and everything that they've ever wanted, literally falling through their hands like the grains of sand in a playground. It's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Kind of rough. Okay, so that's it. That's Lee Rodarte. He got put away for 40 years for the crime that he committed.
Yeah.
Like a fat guy in a duster. When I didn't read that all at first, so when I saw the word duster, I was like, are you talking about King Cobra JFS and huffing duster? Because I know Allison's into the lolcows.
P.S. Yes, we still need to get you on, Allison.
Right, we do. I also have not seen The Jinx yet, because that was an HBO thing. We don't have HBO Max or Go or whatever. But I heard that The Jinx is a very compelling documentary. However, here's the thing. Back when all you had were legacy media or popular media covering true crime, that's all you could take. But with YouTube and all these other avenues popping up, it's more of a reality check as opposed to I don't know. It feels like the hyper produced ones. I'm sure it is good. I definitely do want to see it. The Jinx does. It's please refresh my memory. The guy with the big hair, Spectre. He killed. It's wild, but yeah, it's one of those ones where if you know true crime, you know The Jinx, but he. like it was a record producer. I can't remember his name. And Phil Spector, I think. And he showed up with the big hair and shit. And it's one of those ones where I sort of lump in with, is it someone else? Shit. It's Gregory Stevens. I thought the Jinx was Phil Spector. Am I not? Here's the thing. There are so many criminals out there. How do you keep them straight? And there are so many documentaries, like, unless they're called like Dahmer or whatever, you go, right, Durst. Sorry, Robert Durst. Not Phil Spector. Yeah, Robert Durst with his, fuck, that's insane. That's one of those ones I haven't really gotten into because it is not interesting and it's also mildly annoying. It's why I stayed away from Darryl Brooks until someone was, Fred Durst?
Fred Durst.
Yeah, the lead singer of Limp Bizkit is also a murderer. P.S. Did you guys see Fred Durst direct John Travolta in that movie where he plays a Rodarte? I didn't, but I heard it sucks. Gregory Stevens to be a murderer. Yeah. Oh God.
No one knows what it's like to be a murderer.
Yeah, that's the thing. Fred Durst. Murderer. Allegedly. I don't want to get sued.
Allegedly.
Yeah, oh boy. What was that? I can't remember what it was called, but that John Travolta movie where he plays someone who is either on the spectrum or with autism or whatever. And like Devon Sawa is the character. And like you could tell it was directed by Fred Durst because like in the middle of the movie, like Devon Sawa puts in a CD. He's like, yeah, I love Limp Bizkit. He's like, you love Limp Bizkit? My son? And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, Limp Bizkit is awesome. And I'm like, yeah. Who else would have put that in a movie?
The Fanatic.
Yeah, there you go. The Fanatic. Where, yeah, because
we
John
watched
Travolta,
it, didn't we? Or did we watch a review? Because
we watched a review.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't watch the whole thing because I'm not going to fucking watch a Fred Durst directed John Travolta Rodarte movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to happen. I like Devon Sawa. It's cool. Travolta's a weirdo. Not a huge fan of his, but whatever. Fred Durst. He did it all for the murder. But that's it, guys. We blew through an hour of footage in just under 3, so that's got to be a record. Not a good one. But that's a record. Yeah, John Travolta did it all for the nookie. And that's the thing, because he has like
he had a mortgage payment, right?
No, he has a normally abled friend who's like a paparazzi who helps him out. Unrealistically, like if I had an in any sort of field or job, I would not like invite a Rodarte John Travolta into that ecosystem.
Right.
It's a bad idea.
Has anybody seen Michael with John Travolta where he's like the angel?
I saw that in theaters.
Yeah, I think I did too.
Has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
No,
Why'd you bring that up?
Because
John Travolta's in it? You guys see Grease?
I love that movie.
You guys
so
remember
much.
in Grease when he's like a Rodarte and he's like he kills Olivia Newton-John in the parking lot of a Bonefish grill? He's like, this is what happened last summer. No, that's it, guys. I got nothing more for you. We did all the Rodarte. We missed the end, but he gets sad.
He gets sad.
And he goes to jail. That's the end of it. He, like the rest of the Rodartes, spends his life in prison, and that's the end of it.
Just because he was Italian does not mean he was Rodarte.
Spelling his name wrong. Rodarte. Here's the thing. I know that everybody's up in arms saying it with like the hard R word when it comes to like mental deficiencies, but then we have workarounds like Rodarte, or if you watched The League back in the day, they used the word frittata.
Yeah.
Have we done anything? Have we made things better?
No.
Or have we just made the words that we say funnier sounding?
Yes.
Anyway, if you're a Rodarte, thanks for watching. I appreciate you making it through the whole show. For the rest of you rapscallions, also thank you. Big thanks to Ryan Maxwell for making me laugh today. I needed that, and that's why his name goes up on the board. If we don't have another game show, you make me laugh IRL, you might find your name up here with a sticker on it. Yeah. I have a Black Belt Jones sticker right here that is waiting for someone to make me laugh, and a woolen shoe.
Oh, that should just get added to Ryan's.
Shut up about Grease. I'll say that. Thank you, Ryan. I'll see you in Subway. Remember, Tammy will be there. hot and ready Monday morning. She gets back from the Sandals Resort Saturday. Give her a Sunday to
Delete
chill.
your archives.
Delete your archives. Happy Lawrence. And we will
Rose.
see you, probably next Wednesday on another episode of whatever this fucking is. Bros and Bras. See you later.
Bye.
For this